Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is June 30th, 2022. I am your host, RJ, the Marvel Maniac, here to discuss all the latest news, rumors, and BS out there in the community, of course. So pull up a chair, folks. It's going to be a fun stream today. We're talking about some interesting stuff going on. Especially in the world of Ezra Miller, because Variety kind of just blew the door wide open with some pretty big stuff, actually. Some stuff's going on with that. So we'll be talking about that a little bit. Plus, I need to upload that thumbnail image. I will do that in just a second. I forgot to upload a thumbnail. That's fine, though. We don't need it. So we'll get into that. We'll read the Variety article in a little bit. But first off, I want to address some things. So if you're aware, if you're not aware, there was like a stream the other day, and it was meant to be like the end, like the period mark on things, and oh, we're done talking about this and that. We're all good. We're trying to be a fun and civilized discussion. And then it kind of turned into a giant fucking mess, where people decided to try and cancel me of all people, right? So, I mean, like, okay, like, you tried to pull the gotcha moment on me based on a Twitter space thing that I was in, where multiple people can attest to what happened there, and none of it was anything bad. But okay. You tried and did that. That's fine. I don't got to answer for shit. I don't got to explain myself. The people who were in there who know, there's actual recordings showing the full context of that. Don't want to be petty motherfuckers, go right ahead. I honestly don't care anymore. You're all fucking losers. And the fact that I tried to go in there with the best of intentions to have an actual conversation was repeatedly denied that, which is fine. Wasn't my stream. But here's the actual facts of the information. Zodwriter, you're a fucking liar. You're a bitch. And yeah. So that's that at that point. The Ezra Miller thing, though, that is going to be really interesting to talk about. But, Max is here. Hi. Are you here, Max, or no? Hello? Max? Where is he? He vanished.
Hello?
Hello, what's up, Max?
I'm trying to just update the thumbnail for you.
Oh, okay. No, I mean, if you want to make a thumbnail for me, I mean, apparently I'm taking over your channel anyway, so,
Oh, my gosh. Just chill out. People say all kinds of stuff. All this stuff doesn't matter.
No. I'm chill. Okay. I just decided I'm having a zero tolerance policy for fucking liars and bullshit artists.
Oh, my. Okay. Whose else is here? Caden. Oh, no, I'm exposed.
I'm gonna fight you, Max. Let's fight Max.
Oh, I'm not mad at Max. I feel horrible that he got ganged up on.
I don't care about this shit. I don't know how many. I've been on YouTube long enough. I'm numb to this stuff. I don't care. Everyone else's problems are not my problems. I don't care. I'm sorry anyone got upset. I'm sorry. What's Ezra Miller doing? I'm going to take my nap. I was uploading a bunch of
yeah, I know you had a great time at that concert, which is great. Awesome. See, you had fun over there. So
yeah, I'm probably handled this shit more than anyone else on YouTube with friend groups, and I've been through. So this is not my You know how that lame old ass
is
saying, "This is
Not
not my
your first rodeo.
Oh my dear Lord!
Oh no, yeah, no, that's fine. My
I
whole
don't
thing is,
care.
I went in there for peace. I tried talking to them, having a conversation. They chose not to want that,
So,
and they attempted to cancel me, which
Okay,
that's perfectly fine.
you know what?
There's way more context to that whole clip than that what they wanted to put out there, so they can go fuck themselves.
All right, well, don't get me demonetized. God damn. Well, here's the thing. It may find hard to do, but give Zod a break because what he's doing is
why would I give him a break?
Let me explain. Let me explain. He's being torn apart. He feels like more in the middle than I would say Skywalker and and so he's trying, and he felt a lot of pressure once they got on. It probably would have been better if he did the stream on his own. Once they were there, he's not. If you notice, he wasn't
like
the
what Matt said, where he's being influenced by those
he
guys.
felt a lot.
Maybe that's
but
true.
I've been in the same situation though. Like I feel uncomfortable when two sides of my friends are going at it, and it's very hard to know what to do. It's a very hard situation. So, could he handle it better? Everyone could have handled everything better. I think he intended to do it differently, but once people got there, it got uncomfortable. You saw when I saw when I know, but when you saw when I tried to say, "Can you come on?" and Sill's like, "I'm not coming on here I'm leaving if he's going to be here." So
yeah,
it's a lot of fear. It's a lot of peer pressure.
That's bitch made. Because I went in there peacefully. I tried having the conversation, and you know what? You tried to do a gotcha moment on me, and it failed spectacularly because there were so many people in that space. I didn't know the full context.
I didn't know the context.
Of course, they didn't show the fucking context.
Oh, man. Wow! So many. You're my brother, man. But watch with the F-bombs, please. I'm really chill right now. I'm not even. I'm
fine. I'm just done with them. I blocked Zod. Okay. I tried reaching out to Sill. He doesn't want to talk to me. Fine. Go fuck yourself then, Sill. I don't give a shit anymore.
Okay.
Fuck Skywalker. Fuck Zod.
Oh
fuck
my god.
Fuck all of them. Fuck.
Whoa,
I
brother.
Don't care.
Brother, you're giving me a heart attack with all these F-bombs. Woo! Caden, help me up, bro. Scooby-Doo.
Ruh-roh.
Oh no, this is me going on. I couldn't go on Hinge last night. Now I can.
Now you're going on Hinge on my channel. Okay. Thank you. I'm just kidding.
Well, I'm taking it over. Remember?
No, it could be. It's sort of like almost our channel.
There is more context to that clip.
It's me, you, and Brian, and Ashley are the main people. That there's others too that contribute. Team MME's channel. Yeah, it's not supposed to be my channel. This is like talking about Transformers or Voltron. This is kind of like morphed into something else. This channel. It's not just my opinion. It's multiple opinions. And I don't want to censor people. So I'm not really planning on changing much. And, this is a very different YouTube channel than most people can handle. Geeks and gamers can't handle it. Lots of people can't handle it. So this is.
Oh no, that's true, Dark Lydio. And for you guys to go and target Ashley like that, go fuck yourself even more, you pieces of shit.
Oh my god damn it.
What kind of friend are you, Zod? No, you don't even back up Ashley like that, you piece of shit.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm going, not that you could say what you want. I'm going to go get something to eat. I just came in because I was trying to help out and get that article ready. I didn't know if you saw that article that popped up.
Which one, about the Ezra thing? Yeah, we're going to be looking at that in a little bit, but I had to get some things off my chest now.
I've been in really good mood. I've been looking up more concerts coming in my area.
That's good.
I'm thinking about going one in September, October. I saw a band that's coming. There's a few bands that I didn't know were coming back. So although I didn't have money to buy merch at the concert last night.
Hashtag cancel Isaac.
Yeah, well, Isaac needs to be canceled as well.
Yeah.
Cancel Isaac. Let's find clips of him to play.
Max, and he was saying that Max called him a poopy head when that was totally fake.
That's
Isaac
a fact.
No,
I did now.
But no, after the fact he did, but before you did it. And Isaac was trying to dox you. That's bad.
No, he's not. He wouldn't dare.
He wasn't fair.
Chill
Okay.
out, everyone.
But no, like I think.
Are you in a
was...
legal state, RJ? Because you should chill out. I don't know. No, I shouldn't tell people.
I'm fine. I'm honestly like last night was pretty depressing, honestly, for me.
I was fine. I mean, I'm upset that other people are upset. That's what this is my hardest thing on YouTube is not that people criticize me or whatever. It's like that other people get upset. I get like a knot in my chest when other people get upset.
It's sad when you actually try and come in peacefully and try to actually have a conversation and squash stuff, and then they bite back and they spit in your face like that. So because they weren't interested in actually squashing anything, it was just
Isaac, don't play jokes because unless it's real, because I don't want anyone getting upset. Are you just joking, Isaac? Are you stream sniping?
Yes,
because I know he was. Oh, okay.
Let's stream snipe him.
You poopy head.
He's a poopy
old
head.
Chunky milk, expired chunky milk.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know Isaac was streaming right now. I'm so sorry, Isaac. I had no clue. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. He's our competition anyway. He's like the slackiest of MME. Like he hasn't been around. I don't know what his deal is, man. If you are stream sniping, Isaac, get your butt over here sometimes. What are you?
Max, you visited his house. I heard that you visited his house today.
I knew what it was because when anyone comes to my door knocks unannounced, it's always someone selling, security equipment, and they always say, your neighbor John down the street. And I finally caught up to there. I have no neighbor named John. They just make up shit to sound it like someone else bought their shit.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, John really recommends it. He's like 3 doors down. I'm like, John.
Let me go.
And I said I got 2 obnoxious dogs. They're my security equipment.
Yeah, they're Callie and your other dog.
I have an idea.
What?
Hold on.
I thought this was a hangout. I
this is a hangout stream, but
Helicarrier.
Yes, this is the Helicarrier.
I need my nap, bro.
Take your nap, but I can't be responsible for what's going to happen.
What? You can't be responsible for your own actions?
No, of course.
We're on Twitch now too. I don't like this thing you keep saying, Isaac. Oh boy. Uh-oh. Look at this. He looks so guilty. I don't like this thing you keep saying, Isaac.
Oh my god.
It's streamception now.
Cut! Oh boy.
Dang, now they're stream sniping me.
Uh-oh. Yeah! Get your ass over here! Motivate this thing you keep saying, Isaac.
Oh my god.
That's racially motivated.
It's streamception.
No, stop saying that.
Hey, Inception. Now they're stream sniping me.
Yeah!
Look at this.
Over here. Motivate this thing you
oh shit, the comments are actually racially
oh
motivated.
My god.
Oh, shit, I'm getting headache. Yeah.
Look at this.
Over here. Oh my god.
Oh shit, the comments are actually racially motivated.
My god.
Oh shit, I'm getting headache. Right now. Viewers want to watch this?
Suck my
Yes, viewers want to
Whoa,
watch that.
he
What are you
said
talking about? What are you talking about? Of course we want to watch
that. That was the multiverse. I felt like Doctor Strange, or I think like American Chavez put us through the multiverse. That was like, what the hell?
That was funny.
Yeah.
Can you get to the news already?
Yeah.
What did Ezra doing? Who's accusing Ezra now?
Well, this comes from Variety.
Is it someone new?
This is from Variety,
No.
Max. This is not TMZ. This is not anything like that.
I'll stay for this, and then I gotta eat something to eat. Yeah, I put that on the thumbnail.
Yeah, Ezra Miller has been accused of harassing a woman in Germany now, and the Iceland choking victim finally breaks her silence. Exclusive.
Oh wow!
So this is a pretty big update, actually. So instead of me reading it, we're gonna listen to the robot read it.
Ezra Miller accused of harassing woman in Germany. An Iceland choking victim breaks her silence. Exclusive. In the spring of 2020. As the COVID crisis was rapidly becoming a global pandemic, Ezra Miller began wearing out their welcome in Iceland. The actor, best known for playing the DC superhero The Flash in several films for Warner Brothers, was set to start filming the studio's latest entry in the Harry Potter franchise, Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore, in London when the shoot was halted on March 15, 2020, due to COVID. In the weeks after, Miller, who identifies as non-binary and uses they/them pronouns, became a regular at bars in Iceland's capital, Reykjavik, where locals came to know and even befriend them. Many recognized Miller from their earliest breakout movies, 2012's The Perks of Being a Wallflower and 2011's We Need to Talk About Kevin, where they played a troubled teen who brought a bow and arrow to school and murdered his classmates.
Wait, what?
That's the plot of the movie. He murdered his classmates.
Oh, wow.
I cannot pronounce these Icelandic names, but it says Miller, then 27, also started to show a different volatile side of their personality, one that began to concern the Icelanders. There was always something with Ezra, says Carlos Rayner, then a bartender at Prikio Coffeeus, a pub located in the heart of Reykjavik. Rayner said he intervened in 2 altercations in Prikio involving Miller. The first was a heated argument between Miller and a male patron that began as banter but ended in the actor putting the man in a chokehold and later slapping him. Rayner, who broke up the fight, says Miller later apologized, and the other patron quickly shrugged it off as a joke. The actor was allowed to continue frequenting the bar. We just brushed it off as 2 friends getting drunk and getting into a fight, Rayner said. It's Iceland. That happens twice a weekend. But the next altercation in which Miller assaulted a young woman at a bar was harder to discount. The incident grabbed global headlines when footage of Miller placing the woman in a chokehold and then pushing her to the ground went viral in early April 2020. So you guys remember that, right? The Iceland incident where he choked her.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, it was just a joke. It was.
I said he's done there, but because that was
the woman is now coming forward and saying this was not a joke. This was real.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So here we go.
Oh yeah, you got us limited ads, bro.
Oh, sorry. Soon after the incident, Variety spoke with the woman Miller assaulted. She recently confirmed that her comments could be printed for this article. She is asked to remain anonymous out of concern for her privacy as she's telling her story publicly for the first time. In the blurry video, Miller was seen confronting the woman, who is smiling and waving her arms as she walks toward them and asking, "Do you want to fight? Is that what you do?" After Miller grabs her neck, she lets out an audible gasp. The person filming the video stopped to intervene, Variety has now confirmed. According to 3 sources, the woman had been speaking to Miller at the bar prior to the quarrel. She said she inquired about the actor's feet, visible in flip-flops, after noticing some wounds, which Miller explained were battle scars from a fight. After discussing how she got them, she began to walk away, but turned around and joked, saying, "But just so you know, I could take you in a fight." Miller replied, "You really want to fight?" And the woman told them to meet her in the smoky area in 2 minutes. Eventually, Miller confronted her outside the bar. "I thought it was just fun and games, but then it wasn't," she said. It's now a sentiment being echoed by another woman, Nadia. She requested only her first name be used out of concern for her privacy, who alleged in an interview with Variety that after a warm 2-year friendship with Miller, mostly via text messages, the actor came to her Berlin apartment late one evening in February 2022 at her invitation. They hadn't seen each other since they had a consensual sexual encounter in 2020, but after a friendly interaction, Miller's mood sharply turned when she told him that they couldn't smoke inside of her house. "That just set them off," Nadia said. "I asked them to leave about 20 times, maybe more. They started insulting me, saying I'm a transphobic piece of shit, that I'm a Nazi. It became so stressful for me. They were going around my house looking at everything, touching everything, spreading tobacco leaves on the floor. It felt disgusting and very intrusive." After roughly a half hour of pleading, Nadia said she finally convinced Miller to leave once she called the police. The incident left her deeply disturbed. While she is very clear that she never felt at risk of sexual assault that night in her apartment, she believed the actor could somehow attack me physically. "I totally felt unsafe." So, stopping right there, thoughts on that?
It just, if someone tells you not to smoke in their house, deal with it. But you don't need to call
this
them
is definitely, like, the way this is being described, this definitely feels like a very mentally unwell person.
No, yeah, it does. It
well,
sounds like
there's a lot here that I think this one person said was in a previous relationship with Ezra and invited him to Ezra into the apartments. Not saying that justifies what's going on, but it seemed a lot of these things seem like bad relationships gone bad.
Well, that Iceland thing now, that the more context with that, I think is shocking because now
they weren't antagonizing each other. It doesn't justify what Ezra did, but they also were antagonizing each other. So
but
weird.
in a joking manner, though, and then he actually
yeah,
got
she was
violent.
joking, and then he was being serious. You know, she was like, "Eh,
Well,
you should
maybe
be the
he
fight."
thought he was. Maybe Ezra thought Ezra was joking the way Ezra did it, but then the
Yeah,
other one didn't perceive it that way. I don't know.
But still, your immediate response is to like choke a woman and like choke her to the ground as she's laughing and gasping, and people are saying stop. Like, that's just
you had to have someone intervene. Like,
yeah. Well, let's just continue this. 5 people,
Hey-
two friends.
Hey, Jeffrey Miller, are you okay with being blocked yesterday? I like Jeffrey Miller.
Yeah, thank you, Jeffrey. Yes, please hit the like button. I appreciate that. And thanks, Mr. Fahrenheit. I guess. Thank you. I mean,
I don't know if that's.
I don't know if that was a compliment, but thanks anyway.
Winkish? You don't.
It's
Never
fine.
mind.
5 people, 2 friends, a women's rights activist, advocate, a German social worker, and Nadia's German lawyer have told Variety that they spoke with Nadia soon after her alleged encounter with Miller and corroborated her account. So that's several people corroborating what Nadia experienced. In April, Nadia filed a criminal complaint about her experience, which Variety has confirmed with the German state prosecutor's office in Berlin. While the prosecutor was investigating a charge of trespassing against Miller, their office says that it has discontinued its proceedings since the actor is no longer in Germany. So there's that.
Well,
Just over
aren't they in Tokyo right now?
Well, we'll get to that later. That
Okay.
may or may not be true, or we're going to go over it just so we have all the facts. Just over a month after her alleged encounter with Miller, Nadia saw news reports that the actor had been arrested half a world away in Hawaii for disorderly conduct and harassment after another turbulent incident at a bar. In May, TMZ released body cam video of Miller's arrest in Hawaii, in which the actor records much of the encounter for what they say would be NFT crypto art. In the video, they also say a patron at a bar declared himself as a Nazi and accused a police officer of touching their penis during a search. So Ezra has this repeated pattern now of claiming that everyone is a Nazi, that you're a Nazi and you're transphobic.
Well, watch these
to justify
words,
attacking.
Otzi. These are all tricks of this streaming. It doesn't matter anymore, but I'm still going to try to hit okay later.
Yeah, no, I apologize, but yeah.
No, I'm not that it has to be this stream. That helps for new streams. It's weird stuff you have to do for YouTube. I don't get it, but whatever.
Yeah. So that's something. Nadia realized she wasn't alone in her experience with the actor. It seems to be a pattern, she said. They jet set abuse. That alleged pattern has only grown more alarming after a second arrest in Hawaii in April, this time for second-degree assault after allegedly throwing a chair at a woman and leaving her with a cut on her forehead. The actor additionally has had 2 protection orders placed against them. The first is reported by the Los Angeles Times is by parents of a now 18-year-old from the Standing Rock Indian Reservation in North and South Dakota who claim Miller manipulated their daughter when she was between the ages of 12 and 18. The second was by parents of a current 12-year-old in Massachusetts that involves an incident that occurred just days before their alleged confrontation with Nadia in Berlin. In a story about the latter incident, the Daily Beast reported that Miller allegedly got into an aggressive confrontation with the Greenfield, Massachusetts family over the mother's casual reference to her tribe, and Miller's claim that the board game Parcheesi appropriates Rastafarian culture. At one point, Miller allegedly revealed a gun and said to a family member, "Talking like that could get you into a really serious situation." Oh boy. In June, a Rolling Stone story alleged that Miller had been housing a mother and her 3 children at their Vermont farm amid unsafe living conditions, with unsecured guns scattered around the expansive property. The mother told Rolling Stone that Miller helped her escape an abusive marriage, and that's that one person on Twitter. So,
I have breaking news too. You want to pause it? I don't know if you know this part. Oh, it's on my channel. Do you have it on here too? Never mind.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
I just love the part when you look down.
I might clip this out. So take that down for a second, and then after this, I'm going to take my nap. Everyone.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard this one yet, though.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that.
Yeah, we were gonna get to that, but we can talk about that now.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know if you knew. Ezra Miller reportedly got into a fight with Elvis Austin Butler at a pub in Tokyo. Butler reportedly threw a punch at Ezra during an argument, who was then kicked out. So
yeah,
it does say Austin.
Well, no, Ezra got kicked out of the bar. Austin Butler, apparently, they're fine. They didn't do anything wrong, according to what's being said.
Yeah,
They were antagonized by Ezra, and then they got into a fight, and then Ezra got kicked out.
It says Ezra Miller is a dude escaped Hawaii and came to terrorize Tokyo, LMAO. He was
Because
at a
first, I like funny enough is like someone sent me a message, then I saw the message also on Des Moines story, which basically was like
let me
very
finish this, Caden, to see what it says here. He was at a regular pub of mine last night and talked shit with another actor who was there before him. Ezra got punched by the actor and then got kicked out. So it does say that Austin punched him, though, or punched Ezra. I don't have any proof of this. My phone died, but I saw Austin Butler and hashtag Ezra Miller fight at a pub here in Tokyo. Austin was with his girlfriends. Ezra alive later with friends. Then I saw Ezra go over to Austin and start talking with them. After a while, Ezra started shouting. Oh, boy. What do you think of that? I'm sorry, Caden.
Ezra has repeated bad behavior that should probably be addressed, and this is just more negative PR headlines that are going to be detrimental to the release of the Flash movie. And it's also just
it'll be very weird if someone just made this up and chose Austin Butler to be the actor.
That's a very like I said. I don't want to say this is legit because there's so many things. Like,
yeah,
I think we should treat it as just a rumor.
But I also don't think it's fake.
The focus needs to be on this Variety article. That is where we actually have actual information. Actual reporting.
Yeah, Bell Reeve, you're right. Allegedly, I don't know if this is on Twitter. I don't know. Someone might be trying to make up stuff. Who knows?
Yeah, but getting back to this, so this is where it gets into Ezra Miller's future, actually. So this is interesting. As for Ezra Miller's future as a movie star, it's unclear whether they will continue to perform as the Scarlet Speedster in future projects.
It's clear.
But Warner Brothers is still committed to releasing its $200 million budgeted tentpole The Flash in theaters next year, June 2023. According to sources with knowledge of the project, the film simply cost too much for the studio to scrap entirely, and reshooting the film with a new actor in Miller's role is similarly cost prohibitive because the actor is in virtually every scene. Also, the film likely can't generate the revenues needed to turn a profit out of a robust theatrical run, so putting the movie directly on HBO Max is also unlikely. All eyes are now on Warner Brothers, however, as to how it continues to navigate the choppy waters surrounding Miller. The studio already had to downplay the actor's involvement in Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore, which opened in theaters in April.
That's an interesting theory, Singer. I think I could actually see Austin Butler taking over. I don't know.
Well, actually, Austin Butler's actually rumored to. Well, Austin Butler's actually being rumored to be Green Arrow, actually.
So, that's cool.
But it'd be even funnier if Austin Butler was actually going to take over the Flash.
Well, here's what happens. Austin Butler's already being successful for Warner Brothers with the Elvis movie.
Yes, and
so they like to hang on
to
talent.
Too. Yeah, he's going to be in Elvis. He's going to be in Dune Part 2. Matt's here.
Oh, great. I'm taking a nap. Don't burn the house down. Bye.
What? What did I do?
I just came in here to help with the thumbnail. I was getting my...
Fuck, son, Ryan, all those motherfuckers. All right, that's it.
Well,
good.
All right.
I literally just got home.
Listen. I need to make an official statement here.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
You didn't hear what I have to say yet. MME is a collaborative channel now. I have lots of different opinions that I'm not going to censor. I want everyone to get along, but your drama is not my drama. I can't take it anymore. If you guys want to battle it, it has nothing to do with me. It is on my channel, but this is a different type of channel than exists on YouTube where people could say what they want. And you know what? Just don't go personal. That's all I ask. Don't take up people's appearances or go personal. Whatever. I'm taking a goddamn nap. I'm still tired from the concert and then the stream last night, which is an amazing concert.
Yeah, I'm glad you had fun there, man.
I'm actually looking forward to
more fun than being ambushed on stream like that.
Yeah, that is more fun. You should get out more.
I tried to.
I'm just kidding.
I know.
I'm looking at going to more concerts. What's the last time you've been to a concert, Matt? Besides Spice Girls and.
I want to say the last time I went to a show, God, I probably was when I went to go see Kylie Minogue back in 2012.
Wow.
So yeah.
Well, I'm already looking to go in a couple more shows this year. I found some small shows that are going to be in my area.
I'll tell you this though.
I'm even thinking about the Violent Femmes. They're coming around.
What sucks is every time I go on a cruise, the last 2 times I've gone on a cruise, I miss a really good show in Portland. So back in 2016, while I was gone, John Carpenter performed the music from his movies.
Yeah.
Which is like, I love Carpenter music. And then while I was gone this time, Tenacious D performed in Portland. So I was like, son of a bitch. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I to be honest with you though, I'm not a big concert fan.
Did you see my clips? But no one watched my clips.
I tried I clicked on it, but then I'm like, I don't know the band, so I wasn't really like, it didn't jive with me like it did, and that's fine. You know, concerts aren't really my thing. It's like I enjoy. I
like
going.
Small ones. I like small.
Yeah,
ones.
like the craziest small concert I ever went to was I went to Foxborough Hot Tubs in 2008. You guys might know them by their other name, Green Day.
Oh wow!
They had a surfer punk band that it was a smaller group. They were touring around, went to a small 400 person club in San Diego, and it was like completely sold out. But because I'm me, I knew somebody in line and was able to get us in with them, so we got to go see them. It was a good time. It was a good time. So it's like I just haven't had the the bands I want to go see.
By the way, Matt,
what's up?
It's right there.
Oh, well, so I don't have it up on the screen.
I'm gonna take a nap and eat a sandwich at the same time.
What do I think of the bipolar weather? I mean, the bipolar weather is easier to deal with than the bipolar people on the internet.
Well, I'm leaving. No personal. Bye.
I didn't specify who I was talking about. Jeez.
Yeah.
So sensitive.
So
no, the weather has been very. Yeah, it's like it was 90 degrees and then it was like 50 degrees and then today is like a nice day, but it's supposed to rain over the weekend and you're like, argh.
Well, before we continue that article, RJ, the person that said that Ezra Miller is a dick thing is no longer, that account no longer exists.
Okay. That's definitely interesting.
Yeah, hold on. I was going to look up.
Can we disagree though that Ezra Miller is kind of toast?
Oh no, he's fucked. He's totally fucked.
I mean, it's not. It's like, I know people online are saying one thing, but when Variety is like, let's talk to people in other countries like Iceland, and then now the whole incident in Tokyo with Austin Butler,
which apparently that may be fake. We don't know. It's kind of more dodgy. This Variety stuff is way more concrete.
Well, that's where I trust the trades more than anything else.
But he is in Tokyo. He does have his location in Tokyo, Japan, and so
that doesn't mean anything, though. To be fair, I mean, I can make my location Tokyo if I wanted to.
True, but oh wow.
Here's I think the reality of the situation is that Ezra Miller is just in deep shit, and Warner Brothers. I think Warner's have already.
The choking thing coming back in a big way, where now we're hearing even more details about that from a couple years ago. It's crazy.
Well, it's because of everything else that kind of corroborates the behavior. Because remember, people back then were, it was no big deal, it wasn't a thing, blah blah blah, and then and then Warner's just kind of looked the other way because no one pressed charges, and there was like it kind of quickly came and went. But then now you've got multiple Variety articles written, Rolling Stone articles written about Ezra, the trades, all that stuff, and they're basically saying like, well, I mean,
yeah. Venomous Premier is asking, could Ezra bounce back from this like how Robert Downey Jr. did?
Well, the difference though is Robert Downey Jr. never physically assaulted anybody. Robert Downey Jr. had substance abuse issues.
The worst thing he did is that he supposedly, while he was like super high, he got into like someone's bed. I remember that.
I never heard that myself, but it's like, I'm not going to deny it.
I've heard. I mean, like, I don't know.
But at the same time, Robert Downey Jr.'s legal issues stemmed from substance abuse and multiple relapses.
And he cleaned himself up. So
with the help of Mel Gibson, which a lot of people seem to overlook. But yes, I mean, the thing with RDJ is RDJ was offered a role that was suited for him, and it blew up, and he was able to embrace it and use it for good and for change. Whereas, as I've said, like he wants to be Tony Stark. He finds value in the redemption. Whereas, as I keep saying, Ezra does not want to be famous. Like Ezra does not want to be the Flash. Ezra does not want to be probably in movies. I don't think. I think Ezra just wants to play music and travel around. You know, that's where I think it is. I think doing the movies is very much just for the money, but that's not where Ezra's loyalties lie.
Yeah. Well, Grace just tweeted, so I thought this was interesting. She basically said, "No one who isn't a hardcore comic book fan is going to see the Flash at this point, and I think even some fans will refuse to go."
See, I'll tell you this: I'm the exact opposite, where I now really want to see the movie to see how crazy Ezra is in it, right? But I know that's not the case.
For me, I've made my position on this very clear. At this point, I have no interest in seeing the Flash in theaters. I will not be supporting that movie in theaters. I may not even watch on HBO Max. I may just watch it through other means. I'm not financially supporting it, so and I'm being dead serious with that.
Yeah, no, you're just all like yo ho, Pirate's Life for me.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm not going to be seeing the film in theaters. I don't want to support Ezra Miller at this point until I'm comfortable knowing that these allegations are false, or I know that Warner Brothers is taking this seriously and they're going to enact something. They're going to do something. Now, you got here a little late, Matt, but the Variety article did mention that basically they like the only option right now is to release this thing in theaters because of the costs. It's very unlikely they're going to do anything else.
Well, it's so far away. It's so far away that like what they might do is they might actually have to sue Ezra Miller to get Ezra Miller to like shut the fuck up and just stop doing anything until the movie comes out. You know what I mean? Like they're going to sue Ezra for like breach of contract or something. And I think that's the next step. I really do. I think that's the next step that they're going to end up going after Ezra on that front. And it's really Ezra's.
Well, yeah, but Warner, even if they market it just with Michael Keaton, right? It doesn't change the fact the movie stars Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller's in 90% of the movie.
Sure. I mean, look, it's either it's either dump it to HBO Max or risk a box office bomb. That's your option. That's your option. Right? Yeah.
That's not gonna. I'm telling you this right now. There will be no PR tour. There's not gonna be any interviews. Any like.
Well, there will be,
nothing,
but
nothing.
It will be Sasha and Michael and
that's it.
Ben, and maybe they can get Ben.
Maybe Ben. Maybe
both Keaton and Shannon and Ben, and who plays Feora, Anjanou.
Feora.
Yeah.
Feora, the girl who plays Feora.
Yeah, maybe they can get her.
Be the ones on like the press tour.
But again, I think the thing to really consider here is the fact that like Warner Brothers, they cannot. I don't think they like. And maybe in a year they can release this to theaters. Maybe in a year, but not right now. Like not and it all depends on what Ezra does. I mean, given the amount of stress and pressure that Ezra is under in the moment, I would not be surprised if Ezra ends up hurting somebody or themselves.
I mean, God, I hope not.
It's but I think that's a fair statement to make.
No, I understand. I'm just saying, I hope that's not the case.
If we've seen situations like this, it's a fair assumption.
I mean, obviously there are substance issues happening here. There are, there's a lot of defense and protection from a lot of random anonymous accounts online that seem to be kind of like poisoning the well. Yeah. And as more information comes out, I'm sorry, you can't sit there and just say that Ezra Miller is innocent and try to wash your hands of it. It's very difficult to do. And I think that this is at this point, it's on Warner's to figure out what they want to do. Like,
yeah,
I don't even really care.
It's up to Ezra to show up on court. It's also up to Warner Brothers to handle the situation how they feel needs to be handled. It's up to those two entities.
Yeah, and if they don't do it themselves, then that's going to be the issue where that's their own problem. And I'm not going to sit there and cry a river over Ezra.
No,
I'm not gonna sit there and be like, look, I understand the problem, but I think it's like, There are people enabling Ezra that need to stop enabling Ezra. There needs to be a united front of, hey, sit down and shut the fuck up, like that type of intervention-esque type behavior from people. Ezra's fans, close to Ezra, people Ezra has reached out to here on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter and stuff, that are kind of like, I don't want to say that they're defending Ezra, but they're kind of defending Ezra by looking the other way, it feels like. And I'm not specifying anyone directly, and nor am I attacking anyone. I'm saying it's like, when you look at the situation as bad as it's getting across the board, a united front of like, hey, maybe this is a bad idea, is something that it might make Ezra kind of wake up and realize. But I don't think so. I don't think so.
I don't think they'll ever have their eye-opening moment. Unless
but Donovan, it's not showcasing. They're not showcasing Aquaman 2 there either. They're only doing their 2022
well, that's
stuff.
also because of Amber Heard too. Let's not like dance around it. They're not showcasing certain movies because it's kind of a PR mess right now, to where they don't want to put that stuff out for the fans.
What cracks me up though is the Game of Thrones is going to have a huge panel in Hall H, right? And they're probably like, all right, guys, 3 years ago we were in the dumps, but now all the other tumultuous activity at Warner Brothers, it's our time to rise like the phoenix, like the dragons reborn.
They're gonna try. Bell says, I'm very sad for Ezra too, because I know how it is to struggle with mental instability. No, that's fair. Yeah. I mean, I have empathy. I have empathy. I'm empathetic towards Ezra, but I also understand the business of how things work. And from a business perspective, they are irredeemable at this point. Well, that's fair.
No, it's not irredeemable.
Well, I'm saying
Ezra hasn't killed anybody, and it's only been accusations.
What I'm saying is that from a business perspective, it's like it's irredeemable in the sense like it's almost impossible to work with them going forward right now. That's a better way to phrase it, maybe, but that's what I'm saying. Like from that bit, like if I'm a business executive, I'm looking at Ezra like we cannot touch you with a 10-foot pole right now. That's what I'm kind of getting at. Real quick, kind of go on one of the other topics before you got here, Matt. And Jesus said that stream was a mess last night. Skywalker's a nut job, no offense, and Sill's a coward. So I don't necessarily disagree with that.
There was last night was definitely an interesting thing. We talked about it a fair amount on my stream. You know what? It's kind of like, you ever go to a family dinner, right? Mm-hmm. And like, let's say it's Thanksgiving dinner and you've got your adult table and you got the kids table. They're the kids table. And they're the ones that are always trying to get in with the adult table, but the adults are like, well, to come here, you have to be able to pay attention, listen, and behave. And they're like, well, we're not going to do that. So they go and they sit at the kids' table with their crayons and their Play-Doh, and they color, and they make up stories in their head.
Yeah,
that's kind of where they're at. So,
hey Ashley, what's up?
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing much. Just kind of things have been crazy the last 24 hours. Hopefully you're doing well and things aren't too bad for you.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I know last night was pretty insane. So, I mean, I know you don't have to talk about that if you don't want to, but the Ezra Miller thing, though, that new Variety article, you got any thoughts on that at all?
I literally I was like, that's why I was asking. I was like, what's going on? What happened now? And so I haven't had really a chance to see it. I just seen my headline that now 2 women additionally have, come forward, and
the Iceland woman from the choking incident 2 years ago has come forward more details now. So
the incident that we all thought was fake, is what we were told, right? And now
everyone's like, oh, they're just messing around. It was all in good fun. No, it wasn't apparently.
Yeah, and according to her, she was joking, and then it became like the serious thing.
Mm-hmm.
Lately I was like, well, we don't know, his violent tendency with, the the police record and being arrested. Those things are separate from, allegations of, kidnapping, is so you will, as people were saying. But we'll see. I don't know. I don't know what to think. Sorry, my dad's outside. Hold on.
No, you're fine.
Sorry, and he's fixing my deck. I didn't think it was.
Oh, it's all good.
Loud.
Nah, it's fine. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I recommend everyone go and read this. I mean, there's just so much to go through, being impossible to cover in just one stream. But it does go into a lot more detail about the Iceland incident down here. Kind of shows the video again, what we saw, and more additional details on top of that. Saying that the woman said that Miller spat in her friend's face, that a bartender ran in to break up a fight, and it's just, it goes on and on and on and on and on. I mean, it's just like, they kind of talked to Nadia a little bit too. Yeah, and this is interesting too. So this is like that smoking incident where Nadia, the lady in Germany, told Ezra not to smoke in their house. And they said, Ezra started with a tirade going, "I'm a maker of planets. Tobacco is sacred." They went on a tirade and said that they could do whatever they want, whenever they want, basically. When Nadia stood to insist that guests should honor their house rules, they looked at me with this really mean, stern face and told me, "Sit down," like they were ordering a dog. Nadia told Miller as much. The reply, she said, was, "Yes, I'm talking to you like a dog." I said, "Okay, if you talk to me like this, it's time for you to go," she said. But Miller didn't. And so they escalated, accusing Nadia of being transphobic and a Nazi. Well, I'm going to say Nazi. I'm sorry. I asked them if they remember when I told them I'm a descendant of Holocaust survivors. Why would they say that to me? She said. They answered screaming at me, "Yes, but how many people of my family died? Because many people in their family died." I was like, "Oh, okay. This is a game of who's got the most trauma." And again, it just gets crazy. But there's like a weird pattern of behavior where, like, every time Ezra gets into a fight, he like accuses other people of being Nazis or transphobic. It's really weird. Like, now that's a pattern we've seen with the arrest video, with this story now. It's just like, that's Ezra's go-to every single time they get in trouble. You're a Nazi, you're transphobic, you're a bigot, don't touch me. Like, what is going on? Like, that's the thing. Like, I'm just like so baffled by all of this, honestly. I honestly don't even know what to think at this point.
Well, there's really, until Warner Brothers says and does something, there is really not much you're able to do.
Yeah. And yes, Samir, there are more allegations from now a woman in Germany, and the woman from the Iceland videos come forward, more additional details. And this has all been vetted by Variety and legal teams. So this is not like TMZ or tabloid. This is Variety. Variety is a lot more reliable and a lot more, I don't know how to describe it, but they're more like serious in this kind of thing. Like, Variety ain't no snuff publication. So I don't know. I mean, I just don't understand. Like, I don't know.
What's there not to understand? I don't. Everything seems pretty straightforward. Ezra has problems, probably mental and substance abuse. Ezra is surrounded by sycophants who don't tell Ezra no. Whenever somebody does tell Ezra no, Ezra calls them transphobic and a Nazi. That then Ezra uses to get them to attack in order to film them for NFT crypto art. Ezra has been arrested multiple times, detained multiple times in multiple states, now multiple countries. Accusations of grooming, child endangerment, providing drugs and alcohol to minors, transporting those minors over state lines, most likely. There are tons of issues here. I don't understand what the problem is. Ezra has problems, and they may be minor enough to where the authorities don't want to act or no prosecutor wants to bring charges. But I think we as a society can realize that there is a very, very deep pattern here. And no amount of coddling or ho-humming about it is going to change the reality of what we see before us. So the best thing for Ezra would be for everyone to tell Ezra to sit down and shut up and have an intervention. But that's if there's actually anyone out there that can slow Ezra down, because my take on it is this. I think Ezra is so unstable and Ezra loves guns that if the wrong person triggers Ezra, Ezra might do something bad.
Mm-hmm.
Make no mistake. If Ezra, we watched that video last night, the TMZ video of Ezra being arrested, and Ezra had basically an airsoft gun on Ezra. For what purpose would you have that to go into a bar? Ezra looks for trouble and then goes, I didn't do anything.
I guess when I say I don't understand, it's more so I just don't understand how this pattern of behavior is still continuing at this point, and why, and I don't understand how there's been no action taken at the studio level yet.
Because they don't have any intent of to them. This is so low level. It doesn't matter. It's not a DUI. Ezra hasn't effectively hurt anybody necessarily yet. That's like in a way that's going to cause them to have to step in legally. They've already said that they're not going to work with Ezra. There's probably not going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if the Flash gets pushed back to the fall of 2023.
That'd be disastrous, though.
No, again, is it?
Yes, you can't hold out on this movie anymore.
You absolutely can. You absolutely can.
Why?
Because the movie
Why would you
already
hold on to this movie even longer? I say get it out sooner.
Because they want to get away from the hyperbole of it. Most everyone has already forgotten about the shit that happened in Iceland in 2020. Those of us who follow DC news and we covered this kind of stuff, we talk about it because it still seems relevant to our interests. But at the end of the day, the vast majority of people out there do not know and do not care. Because they will justify entertainment. Tom Cruise literally gives hundreds of millions of dollars to a cult, and people will flock to watch his stuff. Nancy Cartwright from The Simpsons. Bart Simpson is a gigantic Scientologist. Simpsons has been on for over 30 years.
Scientology is very different, though, from listen, Scientology is a cult. No one's going to argue that. It's a cult, and there's some weird shit going on over there. But this is a very different situation. I'm not hearing stories about Tom Cruise assaulting people.
Not that you hear about. I don't think Tom Cruise does. What I mean by that is the implications of being involved in the church. Right? That's what I'm talking about. The implications of being involved in a cult. You know? We hear every year about Catholic priests and the assault on children. People still attend Catholic church. Still provide tithing to Catholic church. They support Catholic organizations. We know that people will overlook atrocities.
I have a question. I know this is going back to the Scientology thing. Isn't the leader of the Scientology, isn't his wife still missing? They
say she is out of the public spotlight in like one of their Riverside County, their gold base, I think is what it's called. They put out an image. I think they put out an image a while back. Okay. So there's that. But again, see here the thing that venomous there. Can you separate art from the artist? I mean, like, you know, can you look at one of Hitler's paintings and go, that was okay? That was okay. I mean, that's definitely a hyperbolic statement. It's invoking Godwin's law 100%, but it's a question. At some point in time, that whole can you separate the art from the artist goes out the fucking window. Because separating the art from the artist ultimately just means like, well, I don't want to deal with the artist, but I like the art. You know, it's not like having bad opinions. We're talking about actual physical assault here. As well as as well as providing drugs and alcohol to minors. That's what we're talking about here. That's why the studio does need to do something, but at the end of the day, they've already washed their hands of Ezra Miller. So they're focused on just trying to like probably finish the movie and then put it out there. I wouldn't be surprised if it just goes to HBO Max.
It's definitely a possibility, although Variety noted it's very unlikely because that would eat. I mean, they spent so much on this movie and so much of their future banks on this movie.
But again, that came from but that came from a previous regime. That was from a previous company. That money has
But
already
still,
been
they're
spent.
releasing multiple movies next year that are going to
They're releasing,
tie into
yeah.
this.
I mean, then they'll figure out a way around it, right? But at the same time, as I keep saying, they probably need to ditch the movie entirely. Take the $200 million loss, because guess what they can do? They can write it off, especially if their main actor has a breach of contract, right? Because there are morality clauses that are put into these things. And if there's a breach of contract, they can sue Ezra for $200 million. They'll never get it, but they can sue him in civil court over it. They'll clearly win the summary judgment. And then, of course, from there, they can then write off the movie entirely and get the insurance for it. Because these movies are insured. You know that, right? These productions are insured. Everything's insured to get the movie done. They have to get the insurance on the actors, on the production, on everything. So they can, and this is how they write off movies that bomb for the studio. You know, you hear about this $100 million loss for the studio. Sure, they can write it off on their taxes. It doesn't ultimately impact them because they can still spend another $200 million on something else. Right? They will always find financiers. They will always find ways to do this.
Do you think there's any possibility that they make it like a giant like PR thing where it's like, hey, we're moving on with Ezra, or decide to move on with the role, but the new Flash will be announced and showcased at the end of the film. So watch the Flash. That way you can see who the new actor is.
I mean,
in the movie.
To me, that's a dumpster fire. But
the ending sets it up, though, where he, like, based on what we know, he goes into another universe. Everything's changed. So why can't it change how he looks? You keep the history of that character, but it's like a new version of Flash or something.
I still think that's kind of ridiculous because the audience won't connect to it. You spend the whole movie with this person only for them to change appearance at the end of it. I mean, it's just like,
what else do? You're trying to salvage your universe and your franchise.
you at that point, you scrap it. You take what you can. You reshoot 70% of the movie, like they did with Solo, and you put it out there. That's what you do. You can shoot it on the volume. You can they can use deep fake technology to replace Ezra in every shot.
I think that's gonna, again, they're not doing that though because it costs too much money.
Well, then what do? You don't release the movie because the PR is too bad. So what do you do? Do you release the movie?
I think the solution of recasting the role for the end of the film to set up a new actor and a new version of the character makes a lot more sense than any of that. I'm not saying it'd be perfect. It'd be probably a little messy, but the ending of the film literally sets up for a reboot anyway. So why not?
Well, we don't know what the ending is. You haven't seen it yet.
That's fair. I'm just going off of what we know. What's been reported multiple times based on
what's been reported by scoopers and leakers. You don't know.
Okay, well, that's fair, but I'm just saying, if that is a possibility, I think you go with it. I mean, we have some set photos that corroborate certain things, so it's not like out of the realm of possibility. That's
sure, and a lot of that movie was probably shot green screen. Like I said, if they can make the deep fake technology has gotten a lot better. They could deep fake somebody.
I don't use Wally. I mean, I don't know. They could introduce Wally West, I guess. Just get Barry Allen just goes off into the sunset. We never see Barry Allen again. Here's Wally West. I mean, you could do that too.
So,
well, also, Geekdom 101 did leak the whole movie. So, I mean, like, whether you trust him or not, it's another story. But
no, I know Geekdom. I like Geekdom.
He did leak Matrix, and he got that right 100% to the point Warner Brothers shut that video down. So.
That's what I don't get about Geekdom is like he leaks a bunch of stuff and then gets all like, then he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I leaked it." He did that with Dragon Ball the other day.
Well, the Dragon Ball thing's a little different because it's a whole thing. It's hard to get into, but it's more so like because like fans aren't gonna be able to see the movie for like another 2 months because it's like only overseas right now and all that. But that's a whole other thing. My point being though is like Geekdom supposedly leaked the entire Flash movie, plot for plot, beat for beat, and the ending does set up a new universe, new continuity. We know that's going to set up a new universe of continuity because Batgirl's coming out right after, and that takes place in this new universe where Michael Keaton was always Batman. So, like, there are things we know based on the other movies coming out to where it's like that ending sets up that switch. It would probably be very natural if they just retooled the ending via reshoots. And the reshoots they have not done yet. They're scheduled, but they have not gone in for reshoots yet. Probably because they're evaluating their plans and deciding what they want to do. And I guarantee you they are thinking about reshooting the ending to introduce a new actor playing Flash. I guarantee you that's what they're thinking about. Because it makes so much sense to do it that way. It really does. Like, you have a perfect opportunity to introduce a new actor playing that character. I honestly would be shocked if they didn't go with that option because I think it makes the most amount of sense.
Well, I actually have to run because I got to go take care of my kids. But the last thing I'll say, and this is kind of where I'm at with it, is hashtag trash the Flash. Just end it,
or flush the flush.
Yeah, basically, right? It's just get rid of it.
I don't know. I understand that sentiment, but so much of their future's riding on this movie, so it's like you can't. Even if they should, you can't.
You absolutely can. Look, the Snyderverse, whatever you want to call it, is in tatters. If Black Adam
what about
is the future,
Batgirl and Black Adam and
that's all.
and all
you
that.
You can make the movie. You can already say that this is a different universe, and make it around Keaton and stuff.
Well, I was going to mention though, really quick though. Batgirl did some test screenings, and one of the things that audiences supposedly said because they didn't see the Flash was that they were very confused as to why Michael Keaton's here. Because again, that movie's predicated on the Flash. So what the hell do you do, right? It's just I don't know.
No,
That's why
and what do I keep saying about the entire production situation at Warner's? Trash everything. Everything. Get rid of it. Start over again. Get rid of Black Adam, the Flash, Aquaman. You keep the Batman because it's new, but you get rid of literally everything and you start over. That is the only way at this point. Otherwise, these conversations continue ad infinitum, because what else are you going to do? They keep having problems. What was it? There was a whole thing the other day about another headless Cavill cameo, right? Or headless Superman cameo. Is that like in Shazam 2 or whatever the fuck it was?
Oh, Black Adam, yeah.
And Black Adam, right? So it's another.
Well, not headless Superman. It's going to be Amanda Waller showing Black Adam the Superman logo, saying you're going to fight this guy, basically, or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, right. No, the Watcher says you can't hard reboot because one actor goes south. It's not just one actor. It's the entire ecosystem over there. No, Spherical Man, the Batman is its own universe. That should stay its own universe.
Saggy Boo. Enosh here saying it's not going away. WB is aware of all accusations in Ezra's defense. We know it's 6 next couple weeks, then we may see decisions made of anything.
With more information coming out, it's best to just let the Flash die, let Ezra go, trash everything, and anyone out there who's even remotely defending Ezra needs to stop. Point blank, full stop, and start to ask that he gets help or they get help. But do not defend them on anything, on any front, because all that does is give credence to any kind of benefit of the doubt, which at this point there is none. But I got to go because I got to go take care of my kids. But that's my statement on it.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Right, I'll see you guys.
I'd see it. Nate's here. What's up, Nate?
Hello, how you doing, everyone?
Hello, what's up, Nate? You have never been on one of my streams before.
I know, this is weird. I'm so used to
Hey.
Your mic's kind of hot, by the way. It's kind of echoey a little bit.
Sorry about that. Let me fix that.
No, you're fine.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. For me, for me, I feel like I think this is Ezra Miller. This is Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller needs to go in general, because 3 reasons. One, this is the last movie he's going to be doing for a while, because he really needs to get himself, because this has now become a mental issue. This has become a mental issue instead of a movie issue, because now he has become a liability now to both Warner Brothers and now to himself, because now each of these situations has now come for like now a few months now, and it's weird to me how each of them is very coincidentally always keep occurring when something's going on with Warner Brothers and stuff, and which is very odd to me.
Mhm.
And then now, and the Flash, everybody say that they should just scrap all of it together. I disagree. I feel like let Ezra Miller make his movie, let him get the paycheck, and then when the next Flash comes in, you can retcon him and say, "Oh, this is not our Flash. This is not the Flash you all know. This is the Flash that we got," and that's it. And more importantly, and I feel like Warner Brothers, the new regime of Warner Brothers, is tired of it. He has become literally a liability now, to the point now that he needs to get help, reevaluate his life, and then move, and then try to fix his image, because now it's not becoming a detriment now to not only to his brand but also him.
Mm-hmm. No, I understand where that position is coming from.
And
The thing with this, like, I will just say this about the whole Iceland thing, right? It's just like there are the thing that makes the Iceland thing and now this Germany thing more damning, in my opinion. And again, this is my opinion, and it's okay if people disagree. I'm not here to try and have a fight with anybody. I'm just having a conversation. Okay. Even if we disagree, I still love everybody, and that's fine. I just want to make that very clear because this can be a very sensitive topic, okay? Based on what that Variety article said, there have been multiple witnesses who corroborated what both the Iceland woman who got choked and what Nadia from Germany said. They talked to legal teams, they talked to witnesses, eyewitnesses who saw everything going on. So that, in my opinion, makes it a little more difficult to kind of, because all the other stuff, right, with the mother from the Rolling Stone and the Takata Gibson thing, okay, that's a whole different subject. I'm only talking about this Iceland thing and this Germany thing, okay? Variety's vetting this information. They're saying that they did talk to both legal teams, eyewitnesses, all this stuff, okay? That they have actual proof and evidence that this is what happened, this is the way it goes, right? So that's the thing, because the woman in Iceland, for example, was not a jilted lover or anything like that. They were just a bar patron who talked to Ezra, got friendly with them a little bit, joked around and said, "Oh, I could take you on in a fight," and then Ezra took it seriously and did what he did. Nadia Nadia did have a consensual sexual encounter with them, so that is fair to say. But based on what they're saying, it's kind of just like, okay, that's a little odd,
But the thing is that the whole like I am God, this stuff, it's very Ezra though. Like, you would know that's what Ezra says based off of what they said with the NFT stuff. And
also Grant Morrison, and again, I'm not trying to fight with nobody. I'm just explaining how I interpreted that and the way I saw it. Grant Morrison really only spoke to saying, I knew Ezra in a professional capacity. I worked with them on the script. That their behavior does not characterize the person I met when we were working together on that script. But to be fair, Grant Morrison does not know Ezra on that kind of intimate, personal level, right? They don't know Ezra's daily activities on a day-to-day basis. I'm not saying it's cool that he spoke up for him and just said, "Hey, this doesn't characterize the person I know." But it's kind of the same thing with like Nathan Fillion and Joss Whedon, where it's like, well, I never experienced that, right? So it's like I can only speak to what I know from them. So
yeah, like
I never
with Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk was like,
I know.
Like Alan Tudyk and Nathan Fillion were like, I don't know that I don't know that person. I don't know the person that they're talking about. But the person I know wouldn't do that. But again, again, people have two sides, many sides to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so another thing is like, also I saw Sagi saying that's what Mia said that Ezra did. Mia didn't say that he was smoking in her apartment without his permission. That's what Nadia said.
Yeah, and just real quick, and then I want Ashley's thoughts on this real quick too, because I know Ashley's been kind of quiet for a second. I want to make sure she has an opportunity to say something. I just want to clarify: I am not trying to hang out anybody out to dry for clicks. I'm not trying to crucify anybody. I am simply talking about this from a business perspective, and I'm talking about this. I am empathetic towards Ezra, and I have been from the beginning. I may come off a little harsh about certain things, and if I do, then I apologize. That's not my intention. But I do think that what's coming out today, I think, is kind of damning. And I'm empathetic towards Ezra to the point where I do think that they likely are being exploited by people in their personal life, like some of those people around them. But in the case of this Iceland woman and now this woman from Germany, I don't think that's necessarily the same case what we've seen like stuff like Rolling Stone or TMZ in regards to the other stuff. This is a little different, right? I'm empathetic towards the fact that I think Ezra definitely needs to seek help or consultation. They may have a drug issue. I don't know. I don't want to make assumptions, but I'm empathetic towards the fact that they may need some help getting through whatever they're going through, right? But I'm not going to sit here and say like this isn't bad for an upcoming project that's going to have a lot of eyes and interest in it. That's kind of like what I'm trying to say. Okay, yeah, and that's fair then. Yeah, that's fair. Like I'm just making sure. Like it's sometimes it's hard communicating via chat. And again, if I'm misunderstanding anything that anybody's saying, I do apologize. It's not, I'm not trying to purposely like misconstrue what people are saying. And again, if it's coming across that way, I apologize. I'm trying to just see what everyone's saying and have the conversation. But sometimes it's difficult to have that translate through chat to speech. So
also,
thank you for stopping by, Mary. I appreciate it.
But when all these stories are conveniently coming out now, well, no, they're not convenient, because if you have one person come out, it's like inspires the other people to come out as well, as we see with the Me Too movement. That when all the women and all the people that were coming out talking about Harvey Weinstein, talking about Bill Cosby, like one after another started coming out because they were inspired by the previous person that came out and talked about the story. To say that it's all conveniently coming out is discrediting is basically saying fuck you to the victim if it's true, by saying that it's conveniently coming out now after one after another. No, that's what happens when you have someone accused of someone of something. If there's more people,
hold on though, I have to address this. No, this is not a smear campaign run by Disney to ruin DC. That's kind of extremist conspiracy nonsense that we're not going to have, because that's just so far beyond anything that's actually going on. So that's kind of the thing. No, we're not doing that. And no, Kevin Feige does not pay reviewers or pay other Hollywood people to ruin lives, and it's never been proven. Like, I have to assume you're trolling, because I don't take that comment seriously. That's not actually what's going on here. It's not what we're having a conversation about, and you gotta stop with that nonsense, because it's just ridiculous. There's just a lot going on.
I have been paying attention to everything. So, and also I would like to also acknowledge people saying that like normal people don't know about this. My dad talked to me about this. He's like, "Oh, what's going on with this Ezra Miller thing?" My coworkers at my work who don't really know about this stuff is like, "Oh, there's this Ezra Miller thing happening." And so,
I mean, again, I can only speak for myself, but like my mother, for example, has reached out to me about this, and I've had people in my own personal life who aren't like, they've asked me, "Hey, like, what's going on with this?" Like that does happen. I'm not saying it's like consistent.
No, I'm just saying like people are saying like
there
no
are some people, there are some normal people out
that
there
are
paying
having
attention to the story, especially because it got covered by TMZ, especially. Whether that's right or wrong, again, that's another conversation. But hello, shut up, Caden. Nice to see you.
Yeah, shut up, Kaden.
Shut up, Saggy.
No, because literally everyone is sitting here Like, you guys are barely following this situation.
I've
Like,
actually followed. I mean, again, I
barely
don't want to
following
get.
it.
Hold on,
And
though. I don't want to get
And
into a
then
fight.
all of a sudden, more
I'm not
people
trying.
start coming out, and all of a sudden, you guys like, oh, but no one listened to the alleged victims, the women that apparently were groomed by Ezra. Everyone's dismissing that, ignoring
No,
that.
I
Oh, well,
and
we have to
again,
believe, but we have to listen to the victims.
And I've listened
But
to those
no
women
one's
too.
listening to it.
So.
No one's listening to it.
Well, Ashley, if you want to say something, you can, because I know you made a comment saying that you have listened to those people.
I've listened to all of that stuff, and then I think that stuff is very separate issue than the violent tendencies and the things that, yeah, he threw a chair and maybe he didn't mean to hit someone, but he threw the chair. We've seen incidents where he's been violent, and I think a lot of that is backed on the fact that it's dependency issues and a mental health issue going on. I'm not necessarily in the camp that believes that he's, kidnapping people and, grooming women and things like that. I don't believe any of that stuff. But there's a pattern here and it's been established. And I think that we should pay attention to that. We should really pay attention to the violent nature and the things that have happened. And to say we should, and I agree that I'm not condemning him, and I'm not saying that he's completely guilty or anything like that. But at this point, with all the allegations, it's best for a studio to separate themselves. That's it.
But this is my thing, right? The chair incident, right? Because everyone talks about the chair incident. The chair incident was already explained by the woman who was allegedly being kidnapped by Ezra, running from Hawaii, that's staying with kids. The abuse of X, and it happened to hit a woman that man was currently in a relationship with, and it accidentally hit her because she was standing next to him. And everyone's like, oh, but he shouldn't have thrown a chair. So if a man who was abusing a woman that you're trying to protect, and this man is trying to fight with this woman and try to like maybe be aggressive and try to go at her, and Ezra throws a chair in between them, like all of a sudden Ezra bad. Like any normal person in a situation like that would have probably thrown a chair. Bitch, I would have thrown a chair at an abusive man who was beating a woman in front of their kids and charge at that woman or yell at that woman and throw a chair. Does that make Ezra violent? No, that means Ezra's a human being who has emotions and threw a fucking. All these other allegations.
Well,
it's been said.
If
you actually pay attention and you're watching the
about
videos,
the 2020 choking incident.
Well, that's
But
what
we
we
have
actually just read an
repeated
article
video
saying
feeds.
about the 2020 choking incident. More information.
boy,
about
I
that
read
in
that
the video.
article as soon as it dropped. I knew it was coming.
Okay, well,
So
I'm just
I know,
saying.
I already know.
Okay, well, that's fair. I'm just saying, like,
But the reason why
there definitely is a pattern
every
in
time an
regards to
article
like.
comes out, everyone jumps on it and says there's a pattern. It's like, why is it a pattern that Ezra's abusive? And why isn't it a pattern of people might be just fucking with Ezra and causing conflict and trying to get Ezra to friggin' react? Like, if
That's
you're
certainly a possibility, but how does that? But how does that? But hold on, though.
It's literally a possibility. In that article, RJ, the woman literally she talked and
Okay,
egged
but
him on.
like, what about the Nadia thing? About the tobacco thing?
What about my Mia thing? Like, listen, the one thing I've learned from this is all these women who get involved with Ezra is polygamous. Ezra does not want to settle down. Women will agree to polygamy, but their main intent is I want to lock that down. Let's be real. Like I'm sorry, but if you're gonna take the word of a woman who's gonna then be like, oh, because she wanted to be the one, all women have one thing in common, RJ. They all want to be the one, and Ezra doesn't want to settle down with one person. So all of a sudden,
the thing about the Nadia thing,
dismissive a bit. Though.
No, but the thing about the Nadia thing,
that's what I'm saying. This is the issue.
It
where
was
it can come across
not
as
like she was
dismissive,
like
the problem.
reaching out to Ezra every time, like trying to get like the Mia thing was a recent relationship that happened, and she came out like a month or two after it happened. The Nadia thing was a consensual sexual relationship that happened years ago, and then they met up again 5 or 6 years after, and that's the thing. While there's a difference between the Nadia and the Mia thing. The Mia thing is a more recent thing, while the Nadia thing is a long distance thing. And it was a hookup. It wasn't like they were, it was a hookup and done.
You
they
don't
knew
know
each other.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
It said
You
it
were
in
going
the
by
in
what
the
one person
article
said.
that they
Yeah,
had a one.
okay, it said it, but we don't know. And again, people could be like, look at all the stuff that's come out, everything about Ezra. It is all inconsistent because on one hand, it's a he said, she said, and everyone's just taking one side because they're like, well, that makes sense. We don't know Ezra Miller from a hole in the wall. None of us do. None of us are going to. All we're doing is basing it off of things other people say who claim they know him. A lot of people who still support Ezra, the people who are in these articles, Takata and that Rosa, both are being we Ezra took them from us, and these women are
Everybody's
saying no,
driving.
we were
Everybody's
fine,
driving.
we were in abusive situations, and Ezra took us out, and all of a sudden everyone's like, oh no, they're brainwashed. Like, are you serious? And here's the okay, it happened years ago. Again, we're dealing with a celebrity. Do you know how many people, like, if that happened to anyone, if Johnny Depp did this to anyone, immediately that moment, that article would have been dropped. Why all of a sudden, if Ezra was so awful and so evil, and then, I'm seeing it, then why are these people only now coming out and friggin' the first person came out?
Well, it kind of ties. Well, it kind of ties into something.
I mean, that's also based on like being a victim of abuse. When you're ready to come forward, you speak. I guess like the same situation with a lot of the R. Kelly stuff. I mean, could be said. You know that a lot of these young girls didn't come forward until much later. I know
And
in
there's still like some
a
girlfriends of his that are
situation
like
that I was
defending
in,
him.
my family did not know anything for 15 years. Okay, so to say that why are you waiting till later to come forward with your story? It's when that person feels comfortable to speak about things that they have experienced. And sometimes when that first person comes forward, it makes you feel like I'm not alone in this situation, and you feel comfortable to come forward and speak your own truth. Okay.
Right, but Ashley, this woman in Germany didn't say that Ezra abused them. They just said they had an argument, a bad argument. They didn't say they got hit. They didn't say that Ezra was abusive. They said they
Right,
had
yeah, we
one bad
talked about that,
interaction
yeah.
with Ezra, and that's it. It wasn't like they were coming out like Ezra abused me for years, or I was in a relationship and Ezra was abusive. It was an instant. Oh, Ezra had a moment where Ezra wanted to smoke in my house. I said no, and Ezra got mad about it. Oh wow, did Ezra beat that woman? No. Did
No,
the woman say
we're
they
not
beat her?
Well, no,
talking about
So
Nadia,
why
Nadia
are we
Nadia
reading
did.
the
Well,
article?
well, reading
we're
the
talking about
article,
the
Nadia did say basically that they felt like Ezra was going to get violent. Is what they basically said. That's.
yeah,
But did they get violent? A big difference. But hold on, no, there's a big difference about somebody
No, I
being
agree.
mad
There is
and
a
somebody
difference.
gets.
There is a difference.
we're not
I've had
talking
men
about
get mad.
Nadia
Hold on.
saying that.
Hold on. I've had men get mad at me where I thought they were gonna strike me, but they didn't. So does that make that person mad? Men get angry. Men can be intimidating when they're angry. That doesn't mean they're abusive. Like, I understand. You got to understand the difference. If a person is abusive, they are abusive, point blank. But if somebody is angry and you got scared because you didn't know how to handle somebody's anger or emotion, that's understandable. But to sit there and say, oh, that's abusive, it's like, no, that's not how it works. So now every time a man gets angry at a woman, they're abusive? That's not how abuse works. Abuse victims know an abusive person. So to sit there and say, oh, they got angry, I was scared, like, okay, but did they hurt you? Did they put hands on you? Were you literally in danger? No, then how are they abusive? It's literally a straw man argument that everyone is trying to make it sound
How
like
is
it's
he
worse than
abusive?
it is.
You can
We
be
weren't
verbally
there.
abusive.
We
You
don't
know
There's
that,
know.
right?
forms of abuse.
But it,
Well,
like,
abuse comes in other forms of
They weren't
physical,
together long
yes.
enough. How were they together long enough for that thing? It makes no sense. None of it makes sense. It makes no sense. And all of a sudden now, like, I contacted you. You know, I did. Did you see the screenshot of somebody posting where they contacted his father? They get a link to contacts at Rolling Stones.
huh?
Wait,
There was a
what did you say?
screenshot
Could you
going
repeat
around
that?
of some. Yeah, because the father of Takata is going around looking for people who have stories and or any type of encounter with Ezra, they can just bring to these news. Seems sus to me.
For him to go around asking people if they have experiences with Ezra that's bad? That's sus? No,
They're
that's
not
like
even
saying,
confirming these stories, Kaden. They're not even confirming these stories. Do you know how I know? Because I emailed them and I was a witness in Hawaii. I want to talk to Rolling Stones. They send me a link. They don't even know who I am. They didn't ask me any questions. Here's a link. Go talk to Rolling Stones. Our team's working on it. What do you mean? They don't have people to make sure credible sources. The guy who came out and wrote an article about his mama, he has a freaking track record of domestic abuse against her. And like they don't even vet these people. They just want a story. They just want a story, Caden.
That situation, I do think is different from everything else because of his.
Well, yeah, I want to make
all of these situations are fucking sus. The person in Massachusetts who also has a criminal record, who people literally tried to corroborate her story.
Well, I just want to make it clear,
like her admitting that Ezra yelled at her or verbally abused her. Like there is so much flaws in all these stories, and everyone's just trying to sit there and find the worst case. Like, why aren't we asking the other people these questions? Like, why would you let your child go with a grown adult at 14? People posted pictures of that being debunked too, but nobody's paying attention to that, where literally the parents claim they went in January to get Tokata, right? But yet in January, there are pictures of all of them enjoying dinner with Ezra Miller. But that was around the time you went to go pick up your daughter to bring her home because you were afraid of Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller took your kid. But in January,
that picture was in December. Or November.
No, they literally went
No,
out
it was
there
not.
and
It was
said
New Year's Eve.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. They went out there in January, Caden, to apparently allegedly get Tokata and bring them home. But instead, you see pictures of them in January having dinner, celebrating the holidays with Ezra. And then on top of that, shortly after that, the father posts a picture of Tokata getting on a plane, going to the UK, saying, happy travels, have fun. But yet all of a sudden, like, and then, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
People are lying and you guys don't want to admit it because Ezra's weird.
I did.
Literally, that's all it is.
I don't, that's not at all what we're talking. I'm talking about the Variety article. I mean, again, Saggy, we've been on the same page about a couple things lately with that. I'm referring just to this article with the information about Iceland and Germany, right? There are some weird stuff with some other things too. I'm not denying that, but I'm not like jumping to anything. I'm talking about this from, again, the business perspective, and I'm trying to have, again, that nuanced conversation.
Can I just say something?
Yeah. Yash, I know you've been waiting to talk. I apologize.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely fine because look, I agree with Ashley, right? Where people sometimes this happens where because I've seen it many times, right? I'm dealing with somebody right now who I'm close to who has been the victim of a rape, okay, and having to deal with that.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, helping that person with this situation and things. And so, yes, I do understand that sometimes, people are scared. This person was scared to come out about this person. It had been a lifelong friend. It had been, an issue and stuff. And there's a lot of other things attached to it. And so I am absolutely, I'm absolutely sympathetic and empathetic to those situations, regardless of what anybody might say. I am absolutely of the mind that people, have experienced horrible things. Maybe they've experienced those things with Ezra. Okay. Maybe they have. And somebody comes out and then somebody else goes, you know what? This happened to me too. Right. And so they come out. And that was what, even Caden was just talking about a couple of minutes ago, with the whole Me Too movement that empowered a lot of people to stand up for their rights, to be able to stand up in real situations. Here's the other problem, though, is that I think we can all admit as well that, sorry, I'm just looking, a bird just landed on my antenna. That was, and just like was sitting there sideways like Spider-Man looking at me on my car. Anyways, so I think we can all admit as well that there are also people who are opportunists who, if they have had a brush with a celebrity, that they can prove that they were there, where they were in close contact with somebody, that there is no, there's nothing to show whether or not something happened or not, just the word of somebody coming forward, kind of just like what Saggy was just talking about. Like, she apparently called to just kind of sniff it out. And we're living in a time where I get it. We have to be conscious about victims and we want to give people the benefit of the doubt. And we want to believe people. And I do want to believe people. I want to believe women. I want to believe men who come forward with stories of abuse and things, but there is also a fine line where we can listen to those things, take the appropriate actions, and then let those things play out, right? Because the truth will, in most cases, not all, Okay, I'm don't start commenting at me that some rapes or attacks or whatever slip through the cracks, because we all know that. Okay,
Yeah.
but the reality is that a lot of the time we have some resolution, right? Truth comes out, evidence is presented on both sides. There's a lot of times, and I understand too, that sometimes there's very little evidence when it comes to a rape or an attack or whatever. I get all of that, but if somebody else has evidence that says, hey, this didn't happen, or maybe I wasn't even here, right? Look at the things. My problem with this whole situation is not the idea that people have accusations against Ezra Miller. People could absolutely be telling the truth, but let that thing go to court, and here's what needs to stop: the court of public opinion, videos that are being made on YouTube and TikTok, and people making jokes and expounding upon this thing to make Ezra Miller that he's this monster, without ever hearing the other side of the story, without ever hearing whatever evidence that he has claimed to have or people around him have claimed to have. Like Saggy has said, everybody calls for somebody to come forward and say something, but then when people do come forward and say something, they're immediately discredited. There are people who don't understand. There are people who literally think the police are trying to track him down to arrest him. Okay, I literally saw 5 TikTok videos this morning of people going after Ezra Miller, saying that the police are trying to track down Ezra and he's running from the police. And that makes no sense, because people have him in Japan, going over to a foreign country, getting on an airplane apparently, and going over there and getting to a fight over there, which that's sus too, but I'm still waiting for some information on that.
No, I agree. That whole Tokyo thing, I don't know. I don't know.
But you have to provide documentation and everything to go out of the country. So if the police are looking, if there's a warrant for your arrest, which there is no warrant for his arrest, there is no criminal accusations other than the court case that has to go, which is not even a United States court system right now. It's in a tribal court. Okay, that's its own thing, and a lot of the newspaper articles that have come out are literally a tribal newspaper that it's actually run by the people that some of them are the ones making the accusations. So, like, if I make up my own paper and I start putting out articles about whatever, that RJ hit me, or RJ did something to me, you know what I mean? Like, well, you can't really cite those. Like, I could say the most damning thing ever about RJ or Caden or Saggy or whatever. Like, it doesn't make it right. And my whole thing from the very beginning, and I guess this is why I've just been silent about it the last few weeks, because it doesn't matter what I say, and it doesn't matter. Saggy, I appreciate Saggy's candor, and like I get why she's pissed off, because look, I've spent a lot of time investigating this thing, and I've had access to information that maybe not everybody else has had. Saggy has independently. Okay, independently, I got to give it up to Saggy. Saggy has independently done some homework and found out some things that, like, nobody knows, that's not out in the public, and then taking flack for it, like she's somehow defending this monster, where no, she's just gotten some of the information independently, because she did the digging. She actually did the research. She didn't just read a Rolling Stone article, or she didn't just read a Variety article, or just read an article that's painting a story, because they're only telling the story that they have to tell, right? Which all we have right now is accusation, accusation, accusation. This person said this. This person said this. This person. There's nothing on the other side to say, but Ezra says this, right? And like Saggy said, all the people who've come forward and either said, look, it was a lie, or this didn't happen, or whatever, they're immediately discredited, or we just kind of pass them over. Like, even in this conversation, I mean, and this isn't an attack on you guys, but like, even in this conversation, like, anytime those things are brought up, it's like, well, yeah, we know that, but look at how bad this other thing is, right? I'm just saying, I don't see equal time being given to it, and that's why we're in the situation we are now. Look, they could go to court, they could go to that tribal court, there could be other things that are brought up against Ezra, and Ezra could absolutely possibly be found guilty. And if he is, listen, I'm going to do a stream on it. We're all going to do streams on it. And I'm going to say, hey, Ezra did this, right? He did this horrible thing to these people, or these accusations, turns out they're true. Okay. But that's not defending Ezra Miller to say, hey, like, all of this talk And all of this jargon about, well, here's another thing. I get it, talking about and say, here's another thing. But the problem is it's literally just piling on. And I'm concerned because, like Saggy said, a lot of these accusations are really suspect. Like, they're really weird things. And I understand. I appreciate Ashley's comment, because I get it. Some of them may be women that or people that, they've waited, right? They've waited. Now they see an opportunity to come forward. But with some of these accusations, they seem a little suspect of, like, the timing of who it is, when it was, how things are being presented. Like I said, how things are being twisted. That, like I said, that Ezra is like running from the police when he's not. He was literally in contact with authorities to get served documentation. It was just documentation regarding the court, and he got that. He literally got that, like, before the story was even erupting that he was running from the police. That's a false story. That is an absolute lie. That should piss people off. And you know why? Because nobody is looking at this as like, hey, what if this happened to me? Right? We're just looking at, oh, look, it's a celebrity. And so it's okay to repeat the story that he's running from the police just based on the thing that I saw or the thing that I read, instead of realizing that was never the truth. So if it's not the truth, then guess what? That needs to go away, and we need to speak out against that. And more people need to make videos about the fact that he's not running from the police. Right? It can't just be me. It can't just be Saggy. It can't just be some other people who are just who have seen that documentation and know that he's not running from the police. Because I'm still seeing to this day, 5 videos made this morning, like, that are current videos, not videos from 3 weeks ago, but current videos that are saying that he is literally running from the police and that they are trying to arrest him.
Enosh, I agree, because I've actually talked about that last night on a different stream, on a friend's stream, when he brought up when they brought up Ezra. And I said, he's not running from the police. I said they were trying to serve him. There wasn't a warrant for his arrest. So I feel like I feel like, yes, absolutely, people need to reserve a lot of until there's a court date, right?
That's all I'm saying.
But some of it, when I look at it, is a little concerning, because it just looks like there's a pattern. And I've even talked to people who, I've watched the videos of the young woman who said, this didn't happen. There's no guns laying around. He saved me. And I watched her video. So I feel like I'm trying to consume all sides of it. But some of it, my main thing is, at this point, with all of this going on, that I can see why WB is separating themselves from this, because of the implications, because they're in the business of making money and making movies, and this does not look good from a PR standpoint. I'm not. I agree with that Ezra is guilty.
I agree with that to a point, but I would also say, like, I would just say, and this I can say, Warner Brothers is fully aware of all the accusations that have been made. Okay. There has been advisement of, like, how he should handle some of these things. That's why he's not saying anything. That's why his attorney team has been like, no, we're not going to do this. We're going to shut down your Instagram. Right. That was not like, oh my God, he's he made these comments and then he's shutting down his Instagram. That wasn't that. That was all about, from a legal standpoint, they didn't want to have anything else out there, regarding this until they share apparently what they have, in the court case. Right. I think the calls for, oh, we should get rid of him in the Flash because it looks bad in that. Look, if he did all those things, if it turns out that he did all these things, look, I am going to have a major issue watching the Flash. Okay. I already have an issue because of Ray Fisher. Okay, because of what I believe about Ray Fisher. It's already right. So that's already a thing that I'm having to, like, compartmentalize, just like Ray said, right? To compartmentalize and realize, look, everything is not Walter. Yeah,
that's tough. It's tough.
And that's already tough for me. Okay. And I've already taken a lot of flack because people think, oh, you turned your back on Ray Fisher. No, I didn't. I'm trying to be fair to the other people who are making this movie. Andy Muschietti, like, he's trying to make the best movie that he can,
Well,
right?
Sasha Kaye,
Michael Keaton, all these other people who are involved. Like, I'm trying to do that. But if it turns out that the star of that movie that we're going to have to see in what they said was like 95% of the movie, they said, because he's in like every scene.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right? Like, that's going to be hard if we find out that like he's done these, even a percentage of these things, right? That's going to be hard to do. My thing though is like, what if he goes to court and it turns out that like he's got evidence that says, well, this didn't happen, or this isn't true, and this person's allegations aren't true. That's why I think that like all these people calling for him to be gone before the truth is presented, God, that scares me. That really scares me about our society. And look at what, and I hate to keep going back to it, but look at what we just went through with this whole Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard thing, where people were on sides of it before anything came out. People thought they knew the truth. And like Warner Brothers fired, Johnny Depp. He was losing money then. Like, I think the best thing for us all to do is take this in, like read about it, actually present, what we can. But then all of us need to take a step back and just be smart about it and just go, okay, I'm going to wait until the court case comes out. I'm not going to call for boycotts. I'm not going to call for Ezra Miller to be fired. People talking about bringing in Grant Gustin, which is never going to happen. You know what I mean? Or just trashing the movie altogether, because the truth matters. The truth absolutely matters. And whatever the truth is, we will find out. The truth will come out. And when the truth comes out, then we deal with that. But trying to get ahead of it and like, destroying everything, or calling for the movie to just be flushed away. I just think that's a snap reaction to it. Even with the mounting, evidence or whatever, it's still a snap reaction until we actually know the details. And we're not going to know that until they actually go to court.
Yeah. No, I mean, I understand
hopefully that solves it, right? Hopefully going to court doesn't make it a bigger mystery. Right. And a bigger thing. Because if that is like, I wash my hands of the thing, man. Like I don't. Well, I'm at the point now where it's like, I knew this article was coming out. I've known stuff is coming out days sometimes before stuff has come out. And I just go, ugh, when it comes out, because I know the reactions that people are going to have.
Well, let me ask you this. If Ezra does not go to court on July 12th, what does that exactly say? Because I know that's been kind of a talking point as well.
If he doesn't go to court?
Yeah, if he doesn't show up to the court appointment, like if he chooses not to go, which he technically could, right?
I don't know. Obviously his defense team is going to be there. I don't know what the legal ramifications are like against him, right? You know what I mean? Like I'm still trying to figure out like what are they trying to do to him? Because if it's this tribal court thing, are they trying to imprison him? Because there's been no warrants for his arrest. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, so is this a civil matter where they're trying to sue him? Like where they want compensation? I mean, I know that they're saying that they want Takata and everything, but Takata's, Gibson is 18 years old. I mean, so and Takata's not even with him or with them right now. So I don't know, man. Like if he doesn't show up, the defense team better have a good reason, right? Because the optics on that won't look good, but or if they think that like there's a chance, because listen, there could be some threats, there could be some whatever, I don't know, I feel that they probably got to feel safe that going to that environment is going to be okay for everybody.
I do want to add that it's not about arresting him, and from what I've gathered, it would be about basically implementing a DVO or a restraining order against Ezra, whether it be temporary to keep him, away from, keep, them away from Takata, and then to have her placed in the custody of her parents. It's not where he would be looking at a criminal, time, anything like. It's just about a DVO, or EPO.
Well, dealing with my own mother who had mental issues. Okay, I'm familiar with dealing with that stuff. My grandmother was her legal guardian, through most of her life. My mom died in her 50s and of cancer. And so, but my mom was diagnosed paranoid, schizophrenic, manic depressive. She was bipolar. She was on drugs heavily. Like my grandma couldn't control her. But my grandmother was her, representative, the person who looked after her or whatnot. To do that to Takata / Gibson, they're gonna have to really bring something more than just we just don't like this, or we don't like Ezra, or we didn't like this situation that happened. And also the question is going to be, if this is in tribal courts, how does that relate to the fact that if Gibson doesn't go back to the to that area under their jurisdiction, it's not going to mean anything. I mean, am I wrong about that? I mean, it's not really gonna mean anything. They may win something just based on the I just don't know how that works. I'm just being absolutely honest. I don't know how that works with the tribal courts versus the U.S. court system, because they're their own sovereign nation. You know what I mean? Basically, and so I would assume. So if Gibson doesn't go back, and Gibson has come out and said, look, my parents are crazy. My parents are, they're not telling the truth. Are they going to go and like try to expedite her back to the tribe, and then try to institute something against Ezra? I don't know. I'm just saying that.
By the way, I just want to update this really quick.
In the U.S. court system, that's hard enough to do, because my mom, it was so hard, even with her having diagnosed issues, it was so hard to prove like enough to get control of her situation.
Yeah. By the way, just for full transparency, TMZ just put out an article saying that Austin Butler Tokyo story is not true. It's fake. So that's been confirmed that that's not true. So full
Thank you
on that.
I'm glad they did that, because thank you.
Right.
But also, sorry.
No, go ahead, Nate. Sorry.
I just feel like this, like exactly what I said. This is more of a mental issue. I think he needs to, like, after this movie, he needs to get some help. He needs help, because this is now becoming an ongoing thing now. Every situation, every issue, there's always been like a accusation or other thing. I think he needs to go after the Flash movie, after he does it. I mean, he already does it. After the movie's done, he needs to go get himself some help, and figure out his problem and all that type of stuff. It's like the accusation, like I said, I take most accusation with a grain of salt until there's evidence around. I just feel like he just needs to get some help. That's all. That's how I feel about it.
I think that's a great way to look at it, honestly. I think we just, obviously, regardless of all this stuff, he's got a weird way of doing stuff, right? We can all admit that, right?
Agree.
I mean, like, he's a weird cat. He's different. He's out there. I look at some of the stuff he does and I go, wow. Like, so I'm like, this is not like a apologetics for Ezra Miller, like, this is not me, like, defending Ezra Miller. It's just like, because I look at stuff and I go, oh my gosh, like, what in the world is this? And look, if like I said, if half this stuff is true, that's a bad look, man. And that's some really bad stuff that needs to be addressed. But I mean, I think that's above my pay grade. Like, it's not my job to figure out if he's guilty or not. And I also don't think it's my job to promote this idea that he's a horrible person based on accusations. And that's my concern. That's my only concern at this point, is I see people like kind of falling over themselves to make sure to get out that newest bad thing said about him or them, instead of just waiting, just pay, like Obi-Wan Kenobi said, and like Anakin and Obi-Wan said, patience.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
It's just. I mean, like I said, I already have my particular gripes with the Flash because I feel
Well, I
like
think a lot of people do, to be honest.
yeah, but mine's is different.
Yeah.
But mine is different. I just feel like this movie, how this will end, this will end the Steiner thing once and for all. That's all that matters to me. I just want it to be over, let it be done, because the people. I'm not saying certain people, but the Steiner movement is getting now to the point where it's just getting ridiculous. I just feel like one way or another,
I'm not
it's
even
over.
gonna get all that because that's just a whole other thing. But yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying.
Know.
One way or another, this is gonna end. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's fair. Is there any nice news out there? Anything positive out there? Anyone do anything nice that they can talk about? Something different? I don't know.
Let's talk about how, you know what? We can talk about how the Flash TV show is the longest running Arrowverse show and just had its finale 2 days ago.
Did anybody actually care to watch it?
I'm sorry.
I saw a lot of people on Twitter were like very interested in it.
I haven't watched the
surprised.
TV show since season 3, and that's pretty much where I checked out.
I don't even watch an episode of Flash.
We can talk about Dune being delayed, but
no, not Dune.
I mean the guy who Delvenu, whatever his name is. I always mess up his name. Yeah. Yeah, Denis Villeneuve, whatever his name. I always mess up his name, but I love his work. I mean, from Blade Runner and now this, I really can't wait to see how he's gonna expand on the Dune universe. It's gonna be very interesting.
Also, not only the CW Flash thing, but hold on, let me get to it. I'm gonna share it now. It's being sold for $0.
Wow, $0. Yay.
Literally.
Put a penny on it.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I would have offered them $10 to buy it for like even 70%, but I guess they went for Next Star, which is fine. They can get it.
Listen, all I know is this. I just feel like most of these Arrowverse movies Arrowverse shows, outside of a few, which is Arrow and The Flash, and I think probably Supergirl. Everything else is either mediocre.
Also, in sports news, Kevin Durant has requested a trade from Brooklyn.
Logan Paul signed with the WWE.
Wait, what? Talk about what?
Yeah, Logan Paul signed with the WWE.
How did this happen?
How did this happen?
I did not. I really forgot about Logan Paul. I really did.
Well, most people did, to be honest. So.
I heard about that. Anthony Superman and Lois is great. I never watched it, but I heard about it.
I heard this last episode is actually decent. So
it's good.
I know one of the OG Power Rangers directed one episode.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty much gonna wrap it up. I really don't have much else to talk about unless y'all want to say anything.
Booga ooga iggy iggy diggy diggy.
What?
That's not an actual statement, but sure.
That's funny.
Yeah. Kevin Durant, he's pretty solid top 30 player all time.
First of all, Kevin Durant had to go to a team that beat him to win 2 titles. I'm sorry, I just can't take that seriously. Say what you will about all the OG stars, like the Clyde Drexler, like the Charles Barkleys and all that other stuff. They did it when even Karl Malone. They did it when it's like, oh, they're on their last legs. Let's go. Even though Barkley quit at his prime. Kevin Durant really was just left because of two reasons. One, he was tired of losing, and two, he did not want to play with Russell Westbrook.
What do you guys think about that? They should cast Logan Paul in Avatar 3, 4, and 5.
Why would you want that? I mean, but here's the thing. Here's the thing, Tony, is that LeBron had to work with nothing. He had nobody. You had Zydrunas Ilgauskas, Eric Snow, Larry Hughes, Mo Williams. I could go down the list with this. I feel like there is a justification. There's a justification with LeBron. Kevin Durant had no excuse. You had James Harden, you had Serge Ibaka, Russell Westbrook, all these other players. You got like top 100 or 150 players on your squad, and you go to the team that beat you. You got one of the greatest shooting backcourt of all time. You got one of the greatest one of the most underrated defensive players in the league. I just feel like, and then he gone to Brooklyn because he did not want to go by himself.
Yeah. Now we lost some of the years talking about sports.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. That Black Adam thing was interesting, huh? I didn't get to talk about that Enosh last night, but that was interesting. I hope that's not true, because that would be disastrous.
Well, more news is that Mattson Tomlin, who wrote the Batman and wrote Batman comic line, has officially started writing Berserker, the Keanu Reeves movie that's based off the Keanu Reeves comic.
That's interesting.
So I'm in line at Home Depot right now waiting, but I had to come back in on that comment because I swear to God, if that Black Adam thing is true, oh my God.
Well, what does that say though, Enosh? If The Rock and Danny Garcia can't secure Henry Cavill?
Well, okay. So it's one of two things. Either they're trying to save Henry Cavill for this big, like
keep teasing him.
Keep teasing him and stuff like that. But at this point, I think that they need to read the room because people are not taking it as a tease anymore. They are taking it as he's not coming back. And if he's not coming back, then you know what? Doing that and like teasing a Superman that looks like him, is just going to piss people off, man.
Agree.
It's just going to piss people off. Why do that? And the thing is, if you're going to reboot your Superman in the middle of your, like to try to hold on to the DCEU somehow, and you're going to reboot that Superman or whatever, that doesn't make any sense in this. You've possibly lost your Flash. You've possibly, Gal Gadot might be done after Wonder Woman 3. You don't have Cyborg anymore. Ben Affleck, we don't even know what's going on. He's in, he's out. Who knows what they're doing with the future of that? There's rumors that he's getting his own stuff. There's rumors that he's not. Who knows? And then you're going to sit there and tease a Henry Cavill lookalike in several films or TV shows, and then not have that. And I keep saying it, and I just believe it. Is that this big hype up fight between Black Adam and Shazam and Superman, or Black Adam and Superman, doesn't mean squat if it's not Henry Cavill's Superman. Because if you have Waller, teasing that she has somebody to beat Superman. Well, we all know what Superman that was, right? And that's the fight that we expect. That's the fight that, like, even people who don't want to see the Snyderverse continue, like, you can't just introduce a new Superman with a new story and reboot the Superman within the universe and then be like, oh yeah, he's going to fight Black Adam. Like, there's no hype for that, man. There's just no hype for it.
One of those things
do you think it's possible, just real quick, that maybe in the test screenings they didn't show the face or they didn't show Henry Cavill, but
that's very possible.
Like they did in Shazam?
No, I'm saying like it's like a stand-in for the test screening.
It is possible. So it is possible.
Until the very last test screening is when you get like the whole shebang of everything,
Well, no, I think they're still testing. I mean, no, test screenings are also
the first test screening of Backer last night. So
that's where you start to adapt and change things or whatever. But also you don't maybe let all of your cats, out of the secrets out of the bag. So okay, hold on, I got to go back to this line. I'll be back.
My theory is that just Superman's just is gonna be a faceless figure moving on. He's no longer
he's a faceless guy.
It's the question.
Really. He
It's
got his
actually the
head chopped
question.
off, but he still, is alive. And
Question in Superman.
I just feel bad for Henry Cavill because he was he just had a raw deal, because outside of all the other Justice League Snyder Justice League members, he's the one who really got screwed over the most. And like I said, for Superman, there's avenues they could go for. I mean, not the Black Superman route, but there's other avenues they could go for. I just feel like you could just make it into a elsewhere universe. Then you could have Injustice Gods Among Us situation, make it live action. Then you could have Henry Cavill Superman there for a cameo. I don't know. Just do that.
I mean, that'd be cool. Just I don't know what they're doing anymore. It's just really weird. It's just I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I just feel like as a whole, Superman has been disrespected for like the longest time, especially in video game form. Last Superman video game was probably the Nintendo 64 one, and that sucked. And we had multiple Batman video games, and I just feel like he deserved more than two video games.
Oh. Hey, Austin, what's up, man?
Hi, Austin.
Oh, what's up, guys?
So,
how you guys doing?
Doing okay.
It's an alien.
Yeah. No, I just want to
Alien.
come in since you guys were ending here and comment on your last couple things.
Yeah, just chilling, honestly. So, speaking,
and
of
also, I would like to point out, by the way, Avatar 2 is going to be the greatest cinematic achievement of all time.
Lies.
Thank you very much.
Lies.
Just wanted to throw that out there.
Tales 2, basically, with Martin Scorsese.
Exactly, the Martin Scorsese cameo. It's goated.
Mhm.
I the first one was kind of draining a bit. The first one was draining.
A little it's a little long. It's a little long.
It drains your eyes, especially when you're watching it in 3D, to be like, God, just end it already. I'm not sure about the second one. I mean, you already did enough what you have. What's there to add? That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I totally forgot. This weekend's the 4th of July. Y'all got any plans for 4th of July?
So 4th of July this weekend?
Yeah. Monday.
Monday.
It's going fast, man.
It's my nephew's birthday on the 4th, so.
Oh.
Yeah, he was born on the 4th of July, so we always do a big thing. We'll do that Monday.
That's cool.
And also, I'm sorry to come back to the Superman thing, even piggyback on that situation. And everybody always talk about Superman has defense. All you got is Luthor, Brainiac, and some other people. I was like, dude, you got a lot. You could do a lot with Superman. You could really do a lot with it. The problem is people are gun-ho on Batman. No disrespect. I love Batman. But like these Arkham series gotta stop now. This is getting ridiculous. I mean, he had Arkham Asylum, great. Arkham City, great. Then he had what's that other one I forgot? Arkham Knight. Now you got Gotham Knights. God, just
you already Batman makes money.
You know what's next? Next?
I go ahead.
It's gonna be
Gotham Series Sirens. That's what I believe. The Sirens thing. That's gonna be nice. You're gonna have.
But they're gonna call it like something nice.
Also, guess what? We are 1 year away. We are 1 year away from Indiana Jones 5.
Yay!
I really forgot about Indiana Jones.
I have faith in that movie. I'll be honest with you. I have a lot of faith in that movie. I think that they're actually going to put a lot of love and care into that movie.
Unlike the last one.
You know what? I defend Crystal Skull. I know that there's stupid things. The monkeys are stupid, and the rubber snake that is in there, and some of the set pieces, you can tell that it's on a set. It doesn't look like, it's obviously not on location kind of thing. And I get all that. But I've heard, I heard some people that, this is ridiculous. It's not Indiana Jones.
Well, don't forget Enoch. Don't forget Enoch, though. This last Indiana Jones movie is the final part of Kathleen Kennedy's plan to destroy Lucas's legacy.
Absolutely. But no, seriously though. But like No, I know what you're saying, dude, and I've gone off on that for long enough. But the thing is that like, did anybody watch Temple of Doom? They literally jump out of an airplane in a raft and fly through the air, and then they're going over like they go down the mountain in this raft that doesn't get torn to shreds. It's fine, and then it goes in the water. It goes over a waterfall. They're all alive. They all are fine and like survive and stuff. Like, listen, that's the fun about Indiana Jones. There's no perfect movie. There's no perfect franchise. Some of the stuff is over the top and unrelatable, but you know what? That's what the adventure is sometimes about Indiana Jones. I mean, and I don't have a problem with him finding either with, if you want to call them aliens or dimensional beings or whatever, because in the Lost City of Gold, for God's sake, man, if anybody's going to find that, it's going to be freaking Indiana Jones, man. So yeah. So
how do you feel though about the
I do want to
idea
say
of this new movie being a time travel movie though?
I don't know. We'll have to see if that's the truth, and I'm
just
interested
don't like
in seeing how they do it.
I just feel like time travel is kind of ridiculous. I just feel like it just needs.
I'm worried.
Time travel is just ridiculous. I just feel like it just needs to be what it should be. Archaeological,
It
do
is
all the
gonna
stuff,
be. I
fighting all
will
this
admit
stuff.
though, it is going to be weird not seeing Steven Spielberg direct it. To be honest, but I do like James Mangold a lot.
Well, I feel like he lost heart for it, though. I
agree.
I feel like he lost heart for it. George Lucas is gone. That original spark that was there or whatever, for that, franchise is gone for them. So you know what? Let James Mangold come in. And you know what? Screw off all the people who were going off on James Mangold like he was attacking fans. He was not attacking fans. Just literally just came back. Listen, I'm so sick of this idea that we as fans or YouTubers or whatever, man, we can jump on our platforms, we can jump on Twitter and just like say the most awful things about directors, about actors, about whatever. We just expect them to just take it. But the minute they come back and go, hey, can you just wait till the movie comes out? That's what James Mangold literally said. He said, just please wait till the movie comes out. We're putting a lot into this. Like, I love Indiana Jones. Please just, we're trying to do our best on this, whatever. And people are like, he's attacking the fans. He's, it's like, no. By the way, I wanted to say to Nate, because I was listening. Nate, I agree with you about Superman. Superman has been disrespected for way too long.
Especially in video game form. And just, in general, like, I don't understand this. And to Ashley's point about like if they just leave Superman, this nebulous thing that's out there, what a stupid decision that would be, to have your biggest character. I mean, listen, I know Batman's more, people want to say Batman's more popular, this person's more popular, but Superman is an anchor character that you just don't. You're leaving money on the table. You can do Superman right. This idea that we can't do Superman right, or there's certain characters that we just can't do, whatever. That is a cop out for people who are limited in their scope. But
why do you think Batman is taking over?
Nate, I just want to say this, Nate. I like the cut of your jib, and we need to have you on the lounge. That's all I just wanted to say.
Oh, thanks. Look at that! You got an invite.
Thanks. I'll try.
Nate.
I feel
Nate doesn't come on streams too often, but every time he does, he always says some smart stuff. So
I've known Nate for now 2 years now, Nate, and it's the first time I've ever been on stream with Nate.
I know, it's weird, right?
I like many streams with Nate, especially
no, it's my first time too.
Josh's channel, like Josh's channel, I've been on streams with Nate, and somewhere else I've been on a stream with Nate.
I'm sorry, I've been, on the crew.
Yeah.
But I just feel like for me, as a Batman fan, who I like all DC characters, but I just feel like as a Batman fan, we kind of have been, Warner Brothers has been grabbing Batman like a Chase Meridian for Batman Forever. It's been bad because how many times, like, literally, I had to check like every 5 seconds. It's gonna be a Batman series. Batwoman. You had Batwoman. You had the Gotham Knights. Then you had the Arkham series. Then you had Batman versus Superman, which is not needed. It did not need Batman, and I still hold Warner Brothers for trying to insert Batman instead of making Man of Steel 2. And then also, he's the main reason why DC Comics is reason today, because out of all the things, Action Comics, and then he had all these other Superman was that guy. And I just feel like it's a slap in the face that you're letting a guy, even though he's more relatable, Batman, even though how you gonna say a white guy rich, a white guy who comes around as a bat, beating up people and have all these gadgets say, oh, I don't have any money. Because I got money, I could beat up supervillains. I'd be like, what? That makes no sense. But I'm getting on a tangent. Exactly, Watcher. But I just feel like if you give it like even 25% effort, you can make a very good Superman movie and a Superman video game than 100 million Batman video games and TV shows. And also
fair.
Supergirl is great too.
I mean the hope is that they do something with Superman soon, so we'll see.
They have options. The only problem is just don't make the guy if you're gonna do a black Superman, make it a different elsewhere that they feel, and if it's good, then you can gradually do like an Injustice Gods Among Us situation, have white black Superman battle it out, beat the crap out of each other, do something, and make it fun. Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much where, I mean, anybody else got anything they want to talk? Oh, Enosh, are you doing a stream today?
Are you in there, Enosh?
I think Antonio, I think didn't they say they're doing a Gotham TV show on HBO Max, I think.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay, that was weird. No, I was gonna do that Q&A stream when I was out and about and stuff, but then I went to the bank and I heard you guys I saw you guys were on, so I just it's like, oh, I'll step in here, and stuff.
Yeah.
And
we have to be very careful,
I wanted to say, I enjoyed the fact. Look, we have been on opposite ends of the Ezra Miller topic, and I've been at odds with different people over it, and everything. But I don't really. I think it's been kind of silly. I think because we're just misunderstanding each other, and I think that we're just
like I said, I think there was
attributing things to.
There's definitely immaturity on my part with that whole thing too, which
So I appreciate the actual dialogue that we had today, because that's all really I've sought out in this, and I think that gets lost sometimes with all of us is like. So I appreciate that's the thing. I was appreciating the discussion, and so I was glad that I was able to jump in. But I was in the parking lot of Home Depot, and I think I had decent signal here, and so I was like, well, I'm going to jump in here, and I ended up waiting because I had to take something back to Home Depot. But yeah, so I may do that Q&A stream. I don't know when I get home. I gotta see now where Tiffany is, but I got it scheduled for 7 now because I was like, I'm gonna put it off to be able to be here because I thought this was important. I thought this was a good discussion to be a part of.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Like I said, I know this is a very emotional thing for a lot of people, and I think even myself have been kind of gone a little too heated about this when it really, I mean, it matters. I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but it's not like affecting our daily lives in a way where you like go to war with each other, Although, I don't know, some people, I don't know, Enosh, if you've heard this, but people are very mad that we're talking with each other again.
Yes. Well, yeah, look, I'm not going to laugh because this is genuinely serious.
Well, not even just that, it's other people too, apparently. They're like, they don't like that you talk to me now again. I don't know, it's weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know why. It's just very odd to me.
I don't know. I was waiting for the pushback because I've actually been on stream with Matt Jarbo twice in the last week. So
no, that's probably coming too. Don't worry, that'll happen eventually too.
Listen,
right?
I'll have a discussion with anybody. Like all this stuff about like people are like all in this hype thing, with streamers and stuff. They want streamers to fight. They want they want a side to pick. They want to be on, they want to have some kind of, I don't know, moral high ground or hill to die on. And here's the thing. I will be friends with anybody, man, that I think is just going to be on the up and up, have a real life conversation. You know what I mean? Like I have given I've tried to give people the benefit of the doubt. Like, like let's just be transparent. Let's be absolutely transparent. So me and Matt Jarbo have had, disagreements on stuff or whatever. And some of it's been kind of public and people have taken sides and stuff like that. But listen, I like Matt and I love talking to Matt. The best things that ever, man, are like movie discussions that we're having about film and the industry and stuff like that with me and Matt. And so many people have reached out to me actually that said, like, I really hope to see you and Matt again being able to do commentary, because when you and Matt get together, it's like it's fire and they just love it. And I love that kind of stuff, right? So like, I'm not in this to like hate on people. I'm not in this to be at odds with anybody. I don't want to be at odds with anybody, right? And so the thing is, like, you and I, we had our Twitter exchange, a few weeks ago, whatever, over things and stuff, and that came to a head, and then we had a discussion, and you know what, we've moved on from it, right? And look, we get mad at things. I'm always concerned when people like want you to stay mad at everybody, because like that's not healthy for anybody to just stay mad at people. Like, like you may have a disagreement with people, but like you said, this is like mostly over superhero stuff and over celebrities that really don't affect our real life. Even if we talk to them or interview them at some point or something like that,
It's not like it
doesn't
impacts our daily lives. Also,
Right.
Enoch, real quick, Stranger Things season volume 2, season 4 comes out in like a few hours.
Yes.
Any predictions?
What time does it come out?
Midnight. I think it's
Does it come out at
midnight
midnight?
Pacific. Yeah, I think it's midnight Pacific.
Wait, what
So 3
predictions?
a.m. So 3 a.m.
Yeah.
3 a.m. for me. Gosh, man, I would love to have
Because
a watch
the
party.
Duffer
I'd
brothers
love to
said
have
there may
watch
be a
party.
body count. There may be a body count.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like if they do,
Everyone's
it's gonna be
predicting who's gonna die. Everyone's predicting
Yeah.
who's gonna die.
I'm not predicting who's going to die either, because I'll be honest with you. Like, I don't feel like, I know they got one more season in them, and they've encountered so much at this point that I don't know. I feel like something's going to boil over though with Max. And I was talking to someone. Who was I talking? Did we talk about this on stream last night? Maybe, where somebody mentioned this. I thought this was a really interesting idea, that like maybe Max, the music thing, Vecna figures out a way around it, whatever, and that's why Eddie has to come in with the guitar and and do the thing. Who knows? Look, I just love Stranger Things, man. Maybe I'll do a watch party. Like, what? There's 2 episodes left, and what is it?
They're
like
4
3
hours long though. They're 4 hours.
It's 4 hours.
4
total.
hours
Gosh.
together.
So it's pretty much a movie. So it's like a
Yes,
part
that's
1,
what-
part
Gosh,
2.
do I want to do 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. basically is the question.
Yes. Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
rather
saying.
go.
Like,
I rather go 11 to 1. 11
Well,
to
yeah,
3 or
that's
so.
that. I don't know what time zone you're in. That's not my time zone, unfortunately.
I'm in Central, so
Yeah, I'm in
Eastern.
But I mean, look, I'm probably going to be up till 4 a.m. if I do a stream anyways, and we'll probably lose everybody at 3 a.m. anyways if they're going to go watch. They're going to go watch Stranger Things. So maybe we do a regular stream. Maybe we do a regular stream and then we cut it off and we start doing. I know, like, Tiffany's going to be mad at me if I watch it without her, but I'll rewatch it. I've been doing that. I had to do that with Kenobi and like a couple other things. Because I was just like, I got, because I don't want spoilers. I don't want to be spoiled for it. I want to be able to watch it. Tiffany can stay away from it, but I get like. Gosh, I turn off notifications. How is it that you turn off notifications and you still get notifications for stuff? I don't understand it, but
Yeah, that happened to me.
Yeah, that happens to me a lot.
I just ignore spoilers. I'd rather go in blind.
I'll be honest though, Enosh, I'm very worried about Steve. If Steve dies, I may need to stop watching this show.
Okay,
Oh,
I will say
man.
this. I think Argyle, Jonathan, and Murray are the 3 that will
Say
die.
Murray.
I do who these people
Murray,
are.
not Murray.
I think Jonathan might go too. I think
Because
Jonathan might,
I-
because
there's
I
a-
think they're going to
there's
set
a
up Steve
thing-
with
there's a
what's her
trend-
name?
There's a trend with the season posters that the people that are going to die are on the bottom. And last season, guess who's on the bottom?
He's not gonna die.
I agree with Saggy. If Dustin dies, I'm gonna be pissed.
He's not gonna die.
No. What was it?
Who
I
was on the
saw
bottom of the
one
last
crazy
season?
theory. I saw a theory that I really liked. I was trying to remember what that theory was, because I saw a theory that like really freaked me the heck out, and I was like, oh my god, that's like an amazing theory about the Stranger Things this season. It had to do with 11. That you notice, like, remember when they're playing the D&D game, right? When they first encounter, with like against Vecna, when Eddie is, DMing the game, and they encounter Vecna. You remember what Dustin rolls? He rolls 11.
Oh, does
and it's
he?
not, and it's not enough to beat Vecna. So what's her name has to come in, remember, and roll on top of that to beat Vecna. So I wonder if that's a foreshadowing that when they finally go up against Vecna, 11 won't be enough to beat Vecna.
The 8 Callie will come in.
Yep, that something else is going to have to come in
that's
and
right.
save
Yeah.
the situation.
They're going to bring back those kids from Chicago. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
So I'm just saying, like, that's a weird foreshadowing that, like, when they face Vecna in the D&D game, 11 is not enough to beat Vecna. So they have to get another role.
And then we cut to Lucas, who had a number 8, basically having the last dunk and winning the game.
Well, and the idea that I saw too was you, if you noted, this was the other thing about Eddie. So Eddie, and I got to go back and watch it, but they say that Eddie, when he's selling, remember when he's selling pot to what's her name, to Chrissy, right? And he's talking about how back in the day he was a freak or whatever. He had a buzz haircut.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what.
Okay, he had a buzz haircut and all this stuff. And you notice, remember the kid when 11 and Vecna are doing their thing, right? And like all the kids die and everything, and Papa is there, and Papa's in that room with that boy. That boy apparently doesn't have any blood on him like everybody else. What if Eddie is that kid and grew up with a buzz haircut, because they all had buzz haircuts.
Yeah.
Right? And Eddie is the key to fixing this thing. And maybe he's put it out of his mind, or like, whatever, but maybe he's that kid that was in there with Papa and survived. So, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Food for thought. Yeah.
That is interesting. That is interesting.
So it's going to take Eddie and 11, right, to like beat that. Dude, I'm hyped, man. Like I now I'm gonna have to freaking watch the whole thing tonight. So yeah, so look for that on Point Extra Lounge. I guess we'll do a watch party tonight. So
that'd be fun.
I got to.
Yeah.
Love it too much.
What else was there? There's something else big that happened. I don't even remember what.
Well, The Boys is also today.
Oh, yeah,
Terminal List with Chris Pratt is coming out today as well.
I heard that sucks.
Terminal List, I heard mixed things about it.
Yeah.
Listen, all I'm focusing.
And don't forget too, Minions: The Rise of Gru.
No one cares about that.
Comes out.
No one cares. No one cares.
Dude,
I'm going to tell you right now, nobody gives a crap.
Dude, ever since Despicable Me 2, everybody checked out. I'm just telling you that right now. Ever since Despicable Me 2, everybody checked out on those goddamn yellow turds. I'm sorry. It's been
I forgot like that.
Invincible all day. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
no.
Let me ask you this, Enosh. Like, did you? I know I didn't get it come on, but I know you covered those DC rumors from 4chan or whatever. Did any of that? Like, did any of that appeal to you? Did any of that sound good, or did it mostly sound like crap?
Well, look, the Superman thing about
that
them
was the
rebooting
interesting one, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
the
like,
Superman
it's not
thing.
going to be a period piece with a black actor. It's just going to be like a regular.
But that's not just look that. Okay, first of all, that thing's full of typos and whatnot. But second of all, like that's not an easy just like switch. You don't just go, oh, he was black, now he's going to be white, and we're just going to move it from the 1940s to modern time. That's like a complete
whole
overhaul. That's a whole
Yeah.
different freaking movie. That's not just like, oh, well, we got rid of this character or we just changed this, minor detail. That's like the entire freaking reason for the movie, because it was a period piece and it was supposed to be, a racially charged movie that talked about, racial issues in this country, during that period. And so, like, I don't know about all that. I could see. Let's see. What was the other thing? There's a couple things that I could see, but I don't think that they're like
Nightwing Court of Owls movie.
The Nightwing thing doesn't make any sense either. Here's why. Here's why Nightwing doesn't make any sense. If Michael Keaton is Batman, like if Batman is 70 years old, that means Nightwing is 55. Nightwing is not.
He
Nightwing
adopted
is
Nightwing
not,
way later in life.
Yeah, but that would be no. Yeah, no, because man, you're changing too much, man. This is my problem with DC. Why is it that like everything that's DC, like we get all these directors and writers who are like, oh hey, look at all this canon we have. Look at all this story that we have.
They don't use them.
They don't use any of it, man.
It's because they want to put
they
their
don't use any
personal
of it.
stamp. That's the thing. They want to put their personal stamp on what
Screw
they
the
think
personal
is
stamp
good.
stuff.
Listen, there's a route you can make a black Superman, and you can do it in a different way. I've been talking about this for like a couple years now with friends, and I said you can make Bizarro. You could do Bizarro. You can make him a tragic hero, a tragic villain, like how Superboy Prime was a total dick to sorry, pardon my language, but he was a total dick to Bizarro, and instead of making him like dumb and stupid and make him sound, well, I can't say the word, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But you could have made him into like, oh, he changed his life, make his image. He became more of like, make him, instead of being a reporter, be like one of those other people. And then as soon as Superman shows up, then the thing in him goes out of control. Then you see him face off against Superman. They all beat the crap out of him, and he could be like the tragic hero, saying all he wanted to be was to be a hero, and Superman could not let him because he still thinks of him as Superboy.
Yeah.
Done.
Well, and Nate, I mean, I would love a black Superman movie, but like, yeah, we have black Superman in the DC universe. I'm so sick of we got to put our own stamp on it.
Which you don't.
Screw all these, and RJ, you know where I've been standing on this, but like, I get it with creatives or whatever. But
no,
listen,
I understand. Yeah.
When you're dealing with stuff like this, I am sick and tired because this happens to DC all the time. Nobody goes with source material at all. They literally recreate characters and turn them into other things and like change complete stories. Yeah, and they just screw the entire thing up, and then they're just like, but you should like it because it resembles or it has the name of something that you like. And I'm sick of that. Literally, I want to see a Val Zod or Calvin Ellis Black Superman movie. I would love to see that movie. But like this idea of like we were just
there is a Val Zod with Michael B. Jordan.
That's HBO Max's TV show, though.
Yeah,
and I did hear about that, Anthony, where like apparently in the Batgirl in the new continuity, like Michelle Pfeiffer is Catwoman. Yeah,
but why is she coming back for?
What's the point?
Well,
doesn't make any freaking sense. It doesn't make any.
Well, apparently Batgirl's cowl is made out of.
Yeah, Batgirl's cowl is.
I saw that.
She steals it from the GCPD lockup, and it's Catwoman.
I saw that. But you know what? Listen. You know what all that is? Listen, I was alive in 89.
It's fan service, is what it is.
I was alive in 89.
Crappy fan service.
I was fully there for Batmania in 1989, man. I was 12 years old. I turned 13 in September of that year, so I was prime, like. Right there, bro. And look, yeah, it excites me. Like I want to see what they're doing with Michael Keaton, but I also want it to make freaking sense. Okay, like and now
we don't want to be like bad fan service or comes off as pandering to like a different generation.
As an adult now, if you got a story to tell that actually brings those characters back, great. But if you're just like, oh hey, we're just gonna like nonsensically just
fan service,
yeah, just throw some nonsense in here. No, I don't want that. I don't want to see that. Screw that. Right? Stop with this nonsense of like, we got 70-year-old Batman, but we've got a 55-year-old Nightwing. But he's not really, because we're going to say that like he adopted him when he was like, whatever.
And if you want to go that route, why did you go Batman Beyond?
Just do that.
Well, Batman Beyond would have been an easy slam dunk. I don't know why they didn't do that.
You literally have a fan base. You literally have a fan base, RJ, and Nate, you have a fan base of people who are literally been clamoring for Batman Beyond.
Yes, and I'm one of them.
With Michael Keaton, yeah.
In live action. With Michael Keaton. I made a video years ago talking about how I wanted to see a Batman Beyond live action movie with Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne. It's right there. It writes its freaking self, man.
It's easy money. Too. It's an easy slam dunk too.
Cash the check, man. Like people will flock to that thing, and they're like, "No, we're gonna make Batgirl and kind of like make it that way." And
Batgirl's no disrespect to Batgirl, and I'm saying that with all the praise because I like Bat, but Batgirl is not that special. I'm sorry. Like,
well, she's a great character, but she shouldn't be like the replacement for Batman.
Exactly,
she's
but
her own person. Like that's the whole thing. Like,
I mean, hell, you have Red Hood. You could have used that. You had even the other Robin. You could have used that. Spoiler, you could have used her. I mean, there's like so many Bat from the Bat family you could use outside of Batgirl. Hell, even Stephanie Brown Robin. You could have used her. I'm just saying, there's so many. It's just like Batman. I just feel like Batgirl is it just feels like a total it's like a waste of time to me.
No, I get that. I mean, here's the thing with Marvel, though, right? Just kind of throw it back to the Marvel.
No.
Like,
I'm sorry. I'm just writing. I'm just listening. Listen, I'm not disrespecting. I'm not disrespecting background. I'm just saying from a movie sense. I'm not talking about like overall.
Mm-hmm. No, I was gonna say with Marvel, right? And this is the thing with them. Like they've changed stuff to continuity or changed things around with certain characters. Like I remember Taskmaster and Black Widow, but they've kind of earned that trust. And to be fair, sometimes they do get a pass for it too. They do sometimes get a pass for to make changes.
But they shouldn't. They shouldn't get a pass for it.
Well, no, but I'm saying they've earned that trust though, to where they still keep the integrity of the characters intact. Where it's like DC makes so many changes that integrity of the characters, what they were, isn't even there anymore. You can make changes when you're adapting stuff, but you can't make so many changes that's unrecognizable.
All right, I'm here. I'm sorry. I don't know what the heck that was. Double B or whatever. I was saying though about that. It's actually disrespectful to Batgirl to put her in the Batman Beyond position of Bruce Wayne training her, because that was the whole point of Batgirl, that she was separate from.
Oh no,
Batman.
She had to prove herself to Batman. Batman didn't want her around.
Like, she developed her own thing, man. She's the one who decided to be Batgirl. She's the one who pushed for it and tried to get into the Bat family and all those things. And to like just make this like, oh, Batman just wanted to train a replacement with Batgirl. Like, it's actually disrespectful to her actually being her own character and being her own person, you know? And the last time we saw Batgirl, it was the similar thing, right? It was like even though like she just popped in, like there was no training, right? In Batman and Robin, right? She just like, it was like, Alfred, you know, like suit me up, Uncle Alfred. And
like, don't get me started with that goddamn awful movie.
Look, she looked great, but she was a blonde haired girl. Like, I just met Alicia Silverstone a couple months ago, so like I love Alicia Silverstone. Don't get me wrong, she looked great in the costume, but that story made no sense. Where it's like she just popped in and Alfred is her uncle, and she just jumps into a situation, and Batman's just like, oh, Batgirl, that's not very PC or whatever. Like, you know, what about Bat person? Like, stop it, man. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, doesn't show her like having any actual ability. She just literally runs into. They put a cowl on her while she's riding a motorcycle that she immediately takes off. And, you know, and like, that's the disrespect that Batgirl's gotten. And now we're just going to be like, oh yeah, we're just going to throw her into this situation that's not actually her character again. Right. And we're just going to do this thing. And I'm just tired as a DC fan. I'm, you know, like, look, I'm older now, and I don't want to say that like I don't feel like I'm ever really going to get what I just don't know if we're ever going to get a DC thing that is respectful to its characters, because I don't think I'm hoping with Warner Brothers Discovery that they put people in charge that actually respect these characters. But I just don't know. At least with Marvel, there's a passion there. Even the little things that they change here and there, at least it makes sense within continuity, and they write it well. Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? And you don't see, for the most part, right?
Though, yeah,
they have. Don't get me wrong, they absolutely have, and people know that I've talked about that too. But this idea that about DC, like, why is it that every DC project has got to be wrong from the start? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
well,
the very
first battle, it's always an uphill battle.
Yeah, it's like they're forcing us to accept things right out the box, man. They're just like, hey, here's our story. You wanted this character, we're going to give you that character, except for it's going to be completely different.
I as a whole, I just think DC, it's always been something. It's like every time when they got one foot of a foundation, it's like everything just gets toppled down because of.
But I still maintain this though. You know, DC can be bad sometimes, but at least they're not Sony. At least they're not Sony, is what I'm going to say.
Listen,
it rivals it sometimes, bro.
It pretty much is. It's like a horse race.
I still think Sony's
of being last place
right now. Well, you tell me this. Tell me this. Sony is messed up right now for a few reasons. Let's go down Sony's list, right? So you got Morbius. You got Morbius, that was actually a decent film until the end. The end made no sense. And then you had that post-credit scene that makes absolutely no sense. You literally took Vulture. You took Vulture from the MCU universe fighting Spider-Man, put put him into this universe, but how did he get his equipment? How did any of that stuff happen? He's talking about fighting Spider-Man, and Morbius doesn't even know who Spider-Man is, supposedly, in this thing. Like, who is Spider-Man? We don't even know. They're trying to put together a team to beat Spider-Man, but like, we haven't even heard that Spider-Man actually even exists in this world.
And also,
yet.
which Spider-Man is it?
Right. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Matter.
So like, it makes no sense. But then on top of that, now we hear this Kraven stuff, and we went over the Kraven stuff the other night, right? So like, it's not the real Kraven, it's his son, and he's an environmentalist, and he's wearing animal pelts. He's wearing animal pelts to go hunt the people who hunt animals. Shut up. That's like PETA showing up in fur coats and going, "Hey, we're here to prove a point." Shut up. That is the dumbest freaking thing I've ever heard in my life, right? And then we're going to introduce the chameleon and kill him, but he's not really dead because we're going to do the Sinister Six movie, and we're going to get all these guys, and everybody's a freaking anti-hero, and none of it's connected. Now, look at DC. What is DC doing? We had a DCEU by Zack Snyder that was started. We didn't want to finish all that out, right? So we basically bastardized Wonder Woman 2, right? And made it like a complete crap show, and like didn't, it's completely different character. Now she's beating everybody with love instead of a sword,
which
right?
is cool.
Then we're going to go back and we're going to allow Zack Snyder's Justice League, but we're going to go on from that and then say we're going to totally distance ourselves from all of that, and now we're going to bring you all these characters that are kind of connected to all that stuff, because we want to still ride the popularity of some of those characters do well, right? We're going to ride on Aquaman because Aquaman made us $1 billion. We're going to ride on, they were doing this Flash thing, right? So we're not going to give you what you want, really. We're going to bring back Michael Keaton for some reason and make him the Batman. Again, it's Michael Keaton. Like, what the heck what's the heck with bringing like Michael Keaton into these films, right? Like, I don't know, man. But we're going to bring Michael Keaton back in, and we're going to do all this stuff.
It's almost like they have.
And
no
then
clue what
where's
they're
it go?
doing.
Like, none of it's connected. None of it makes any sense. It's as bad as Sony, man.
Yeah.
It's really right. It's really up there.
I'm not here
And even another thing. And even when you get good characters on the ground, you got companies messing up. You always got the higher ups always say, "Oh, we're selling it. We're getting someone else. We gotta put someone else. We got someone else to put in. Oh, we got someone else. We got someone else in there. We gotta put this character in there. Gotta put this character in." And it's getting downright ridiculous to the point where I really, as much as I love DC and I love all Marvel, I love DC, I love all the other stuff. But it's getting to the point now, it's getting utterly ridiculous. Like, why should I care about these characters if in a turn of a hat, they're going to be gone in an instant?
I don't know where I cut out, but I made the joke that like DC is just as bad, and Michael Keaton is the source of it. It's like all of a sudden, like with both Sony and DC, it's like, when in doubt, hey, just throw Michael Keaton in there. That makes no sense for no reason out of a
when in doubt, throw in Batman. That's pretty much it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Michael Keaton is Vulture. Michael Keaton is Batman. So it's like Sony is like, hey, when in doubt, we're just going to throw Michael Keaton's Vulture in there. It makes no sense. And on DC's level, like, hey, let's just throw Michael Keaton's Batman in there. None of it's really connected. We still want to ride on the past of what we thought was good about Zack Snyder's stuff. So we're going to keep some of those characters, but we're going to change them around. We're going to bastardize Wonder Woman. We're going to, we're going to get rid of this person, that person. None of it makes any sense. They were riding a lot on the Flash, but God only knows where that's going now. And it's like, it's just as bad, RJ. It's like right now, honestly, Sony and DC, like, it's all like, what the heck are we doing here? Nobody knows what the direction is. It doesn't make any coherent sense because they're trying to mash up a bunch of stuff, which I am a firm believer in, like, not rebooting stuff. But honest to God, at this point, if you're not bringing Henry Cavill back and the Flash is going to be this much of an issue for everybody, and there's all this stuff, just bring it to an end. Literally just bring it to an end and start over again. I hate to have to say that. It pains me to say that. But I'm just as a.
Well, you're thinking about what's best and most healthy for the brand.
Don't try to mash 3 universes together. Between Zack Snyder, Joss Whedon stuff, and former Batman stuff or whatever, and then whatever we're doing 4 universes together, create a new thing. It's not going to work. It makes sense to me when I read the article today and it said some people are like came out of that movie going like,
huh?
What's going on here? What? Who are these people? And I understand some of it is because it's out of order and all this stuff. But honestly, I think that there's a lot of people who are going to see these movies, even if they see them in order, coming out going, I don't understand what's going on here. But that's me.
Well, Matt's back. Hi, Matt.
Hey, what's up?
So yeah, I really didn't have much else to say unless you had something you want to add to any of this about franchises right now, the state of things in the world, or I don't know, anything really.
Warner Brothers is gonna have a very bad year.
But this year was so promising, though. We had the Batman and Peacemaker, and I like both those things.
Okay,
then,
first of all, John Cena is always a win, and also Matt Reeves is always a win. Matt Reeves is there. Like I said, from the Planet of the Apes trilogy that he did, and with all the other stuff, I already knew he was going to be great. Robert Pattinson is very good, but the problem is, like I said, as a whole, DC just doesn't know what they want. Then you got the video game situation. You don't know what they're going to do. And then you got all these other stuff. They're so scattered in keeping a foundation. And I just feel like if you're going to do this right, if DC is going to do this right, you just got to start the Justice League. And the first person got to go is Superman. You already have Batman already.
Why don't they start with Green Lantern, though? Why don't they try that?
Actually, I'll even go even further than that. I believe the Martian Manhunter deserves his shine. How many times have we seen Martian Manhunter in certain movies or TV shows? And there's a backstory there that nobody ever used. And with all the CGI and the practical effects you could do now, I mean, take a shot. And I've been saying this for like. I've been talking to Josh in our streams, and I've been saying, and I've been banging at the table for Idris Elba as Martian Manhunter. The man, it fits him like a glove. The dude's built like him. He has the charisma to play Martian Man, and he also has the chops to play out of world experience. And if you can do that, then just knock yourself out with it. Just go with that, and then the Green Lantern, you could go with that, and then everything follows. Sorry.
You know what they should start with if they're gonna reboot the whole DCU? Start with Bawana Beast.
Really, for the Brave and the Bold?
No. Do a Batmite movie. That's what DC.
No, God, no. That's a joke.
And then you do a Batmite movie,
or a Kite Man movie.
Then a Kite Man, exactly. Then you do a King Shark movie. Then you do a Harley Quinn movie that leads up to a Joker movie that leads up to a Batman movie.
And then a Dr. Psycho movie.
Yes.
So you're just basically trying to do the Harley Quinn TV show in movie form. Yes.
You guys are funny.
No, that sounds amazing though.
It does.
I'm messy. That's not what they should do, but you know.
No, I'm right and you're wrong.
Sounds great.
I'm not saying. Listen, I just feel like I said. For me, I just feel like a Superman movie deserves its due, and the person and the villain and the one villain that I want them to do is Mixius Spitlick, whatever his name is. I always mess up. Yeah, I believe that he is the perfect person to play, and I have the perfect actor to play him, and it's Clint Howard. Yeah, Mixius Spitlick. I always mess him up, but Clint Howard should be that person, and it'll be perfect. It's just like right there. He's already weird looking, no disrespect, but it fits him like a glove.
Well, on that note, I do have to bring the stream to a close, though, because I got to do some things for dinner. So I appreciate everyone coming on. It's been a fun conversation. Nice in-depth one. So, yeah. Y'all got anything you want to promote real quick before we get out of here?
Hold on.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that watch party. We'll do a regular show at midnight, and then we'll do a watch party for 3 a.m. of Stranger Things tonight. So,
are you going to do the full 4 hours?
I think so. Yeah, we're just going to do the full 4 hours, just bang it out, man. 3 to 7.
Yeah,
3 to 7 a.m. for me, baby.
That's probably what I'm going to probably have him do that too. So be like, well, I'll try to, because once you start, you're not going to be able to stop.
I'm sorry.
And how else are you going to avoid spoilers, Matt? You know what I mean? Like with whatever happens in this thing, you know, like
It's gonna be really hard.
I
Here's an
actually avoided
Go blind.
Obi-Wan. I avoided Obi-Wan spoilers for episode 5 while I was on the cruise ship. So, I mean, it's doable. It's doable. If you set your Twitter, muted words for certain things, you could probably get away with it. The problem, though, is all the people on YouTube that are going to be making content that ends up in the recommended. So that ends up being a bigger issue than social media. And plus there's already
somebody who spoils everything for me anyway. So
yeah, we'll see if Nicotina hits you up tonight.
I love Nicotina, man. Yeah.
I just avoid everything in general, just going blind.
I mean, I accidentally spoiled Ugly Sonic. Turbo.
I was so pissed. He gets in the DM group and he's all like, he's talking about like Chip and Dale. He's like, oh man, Ugly Sonic, Senator Butthead. I'm like, dude,
well, we get
dude.
I gotta be honest. At first, I thought I had a low bar with Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. I had low expectations,
so
and I'm very happy that I had my expectations very low because it's a very good show. I mean,
we got spoiled for Kenobi in my DM group because somebody came in just hating on it and like literally.
I think I know who exactly he's talking about.
I gotta be honest. Lucasfilms, especially one Kathleen Kennedy, has really
all this. And I was like,
"You're going in and out, Enoch."
Yeah. Well, yeah. I do got to wrap this up though. So thank y'all so much for watching. Much love to everybody, and catch you all for whatever the next time I stream. I have no clue. Bye.